Okay, the time is 6:31, and I'd like to call our council meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Wright?
Here.
Ms. Alfal Cordero? Here. Ms. De Leon? Here. Mr. Banonis and Mr. Croce are not present. Also present is Saucon Township Manager Jay Finnegan, Township Engineer Brian Cooker, Township Solicitor Steve Bezuzian, Tyler Mitch Zoning Officer, and myself, Stacy Burkheiser.
All right, thank you. Can we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we did not meet in executive session tonight, so we have nothing to discuss there. Public comment procedure. We have 2 times when the floor is open to the public to speak. The first one comes right after this, where you have each person would have a 3-minute time limit to speak about any of the agenda items. And then later towards the end of the meeting, we have a 3-minute time period for everybody where they can speak about any agenda or non-agenda items. So for tonight, we have a special presentation by Casey Fluke on his Eagle Scout project at the Lutz Franklin Schoolhouse. So if you would like to... Oh, sorry. I skipped it. Sorry. Yes, I'm glad. I make mistakes and I'm a human. All right, so do we have anybody for public comment before we have our presentation?
I'd like to speak.
Sure. You just have to give your name for the record and...
Okay. My name is Tim Steely. I live at 2485 Apple Butter Road. And I'd like to make a brief statement concerning the Swin property on Apple Butter Road. I know he's operating under a variance from 1996. However, it's not been compliant in over 20 years. Even after being cited with violations, nothing changes. I'm pretty sure if the roles were reversed, I wouldn't get away with that. This variance is for parking of trucks that are in use, not for running a scrap yard or a junk yard of deadhead trucks. He must comply with the regulations outlined in the original variance. I personally don't see any vagueness or confusion in the terms of the variance. We've operated an auto repair business for over 45 years and it looks nothing like that. We take pride in our place to keep it nice for our neighbors and our community. Not to mention what a mess like that does to property values in the area. I'm sure if soil samples were taken and tested, the results wouldn't be good. In closing, I want to point out the biggest complaint from our customers is when the trucks come back at the end of the day, he blocks a lane of traffic until he can move enough junk to get them off the road, which is very hazardous for drivers to go around, considering the location on the hill. I'm amazed he hasn't been issued a citation for impeding the flow of traffic. Also, this is the most action I've seen taken in over 20 years, and I'm sure the community appreciates it. Thank you.
Do we have somebody else?
Hi, my name is Kathy Mitchell-McGovern, 4260 Lower Saucon Road, Hellertown. Also want to comment on F about Swint. We've discussed this for, as Tim said, for many, many, many years. I remember standing up here with Leslie Hunt and Chris Gargas regarding all the violations he has made. Someone from the community asked me to bring it up to the EAC. We did in the fall of 2024. There's multiple concerns about the amount of trash and tires and debris that's on that property. That property is zoned for Mr. Swint to park his working garbage trucks and for his employees to have somewhere to park. When you come around the road, It's a matter of time till somebody gets hit. The garbage trucks are in the road and his employees' trucks are backed up in the road. He doesn't always empty the garbage trucks either. So sometimes when you come around the corner, the dump trucks are draining fluid out of the bottom of the truck that's coming out of those trucks. It's very unsafe. The variance has been abused for years, and we really ask the council to support us. Thank you very much.
Donna Louder. I'd like to speak regarding the Swint property, but I'm going to read you what I have. While campaigning for the primary election this past May, I spoke with a resident whose property is adjacent to the Swint property. Her concerns were previously shared with the majority of this council without any resolution. I told her I would look into it. That day I submitted a right to know to the township, and as most know, there is a long history of issues with the Swint property. After review of the paperwork, I found this property was only to be used as an area to park trucks and not as a storage area for junk. Later that afternoon, I reached out to Amy Fouch at DEP. We had a lengthy conversation regarding the concerns of a possible trash transfer station being created at the Swint property. She heard my concerns, reached out to the township, coordinated an inspection with the manager, zoning, and the Swints. Violations were found and documented by the DEP and our zoning office. I want to say thank you to Ms. Fouch at the DEP, our manager, our zoning office, our legal advisor for the work they put in. I drove by the Swint property yesterday and noticed there is a cleanup in progress. Thank you to the Swints. The appeal that is in front of you should carry no weight based on the variance that was granted over 35 years ago. The variance recommendation stated that truck parking is the only exception to the allowed use. DEP issued 2 hauling permits to the Swints allowing them to haul trash. It does not allow the operation of a junkyard. Since this granted variance has received proven violations, does the township have the right to revisit the granted use? To help all parties come to an equitable resolution, I believe this path would save tax dollars and expenses for the Swints. So this has been ongoing when I was on council before in 2016. And it has been ongoing and ongoing. And in fact, the poor woman that I spoke to was your cleaning lady, Miss DeLeon. And she said she approached you back in 23 when you were campaigning, and it was dismissed. I find that incontrovertible.
That's wrong.
Well, then why isn't anything else
Because I
done?
followed up with the township.
Why are you interrupting her? It's her moment to speak.
So,
But I'm telling you, nothing was taken care of. I heard it mentioned at the EAC meetings as I was watching them, and it was said that, well, we just have to keep going through this around in circles, around in circles. Laura Ray said that. Come on, people.
when you were on council, it didn't, nothing happened
Would you
either.
please
so-
stop interrupting her? The rules are
Yes,
we
I
don't
did.
interact with the public.
Okay, attorney,
Would you get
just
control of the meeting,
finished
please,
public
Laura?
comment. Attorney Link Treadwell actually did an investigation because I brought it to his attention, and him and I's actually worked on that as well. Thank you to our zoning, thank you to our solicitor, thank you to our manager, and thank you to the DEP for stepping up and getting something moving. And I appreciate your time. I got 18 seconds.
Thank you.
Diane Hollowell. I am talking on agenda item H, and I'm assuming it's about the rail trail. I'm assuming there's a concern about replacing a twice vandalized sign. That sign indicates the history of the Wagner Home homestead, of which was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2020, and I think some of you were on council and voted that in. It is awesome that we are making sure we keep history alive for our future generations, and as the saying goes, those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And I'm just going to do, where's my bag? Oh, there. I'm going to do a little Trump weave right now, right here. The idea of mandating tote bags to replace the plastic one-use bags. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a major environmental problem our grandchildren will have to deal with. Why can't we do our part and keep the plastics out of the landfills and the ocean? It doesn't seem like much of a government overreach to take a tote bag to a grocery store. Thank you.
Agenda?
No, I said I did a Trump weave.
Have next.
It's the first meeting time.
Tom, you don't have the floor. We're in public comment.
What? Priscilla interrupts people all the time.
I always
It just happened.
So do you.
I'm not interrupting you, sir. Go ahead. Yeah.
Mark Ozimek. Some people are going to get upset with me, but I'm here to stick up for poor Phil Swint. Mr. Swint had that yard cleaned up years ago. Don't remember when. I told him it looked nice and he should do something with the yard instead of mud. I tried telling him to get rid of trucks when the values were high on scrap. But you know what? Phil works. Phil works every day, 7 days a week. Phil pays his taxes. How much money does the township get out of taxes? Phil employs people and pays those people. Phil busts his ass to make a living for his family and support his kids. You can't go wrong with that. It's just too bad that he got too busy that he couldn't keep up with everything. I know because I'm there because I fixed some of his stuff over the years. And he tries. So, you know, the other thing I seen rooting through the computer before I came here yesterday was a $600 fee for something. It's okay for the township to keep charging outrageous fees for people that do stuff or get charged for stuff, but you know, how many people went over and offered to give him a hand and try and straighten things out? No one. Just went over and jumped on his back and got all over his shit. But you know what? Yous ain't the only one, because I did too.
You control the vulgarity? Your children here.
So I thought I want to go for help. I thought you have community service.
Okay.
So anyway,
Mark?
that's what I did. What?
No, Mark, it's your turn to speak.
So that's what I did, and that's what I'm saying. I'm sticking up for Phil, because you know what? He's the nicest guy you ever want to meet. He really is. And sometimes he gets taken advantage of for it, from people that don't want to pay, from rich people, from people that just screw him over. But Phil is the nicest guy you will ever meet, 30 or not. Oh hell, I'm 30.
Oh, yeah.
You're the nicest
At least
guy.
I'm not a dirty politician. So besides that,
You're the nicest guy.
You tried to be and you failed.
huh?
I said you tried to be and you failed.
Okay, Jason, not your comment.
Oh yeah, election day ain't here yet.
That's true. Get that writing going.
Oh, you're right. I plan on doing that. Plan on doing that.
Good luck.
Thanks. So, I don't know if his lawyer is here, but he has been cleaning up the property. It's cleaned out quite well compared to what it was. So he's working on it, but don't forget, he also has to work and serve customers every day. And at least for him, he doesn't live off the backs of people. He goes out and earns his money on like the government.
Is that Priscilla?
Tom, comment, and Jason, Tom,
or what
can we cut him off?
It's like an aspect when it comes
Okay, do we have any more public comment?
Madam President, just for the record, Mr. Banonis arrived at 6:35 and Mr. Croce joined by...
I think it was 6:34, but I'm not going to quibble over the
And
Yeah, I wrote down 6:35.
Croce,
6:35. Thank you.
6:45.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Can you say that again? I didn't. 25? What happened?
Mr. Banonis joined us at 6:34 or 6:35, depending upon which clock you look at, and
Oh!
Mr. Croce joined via audio at 6:45.
Before 6:45, 6:46 now. 6:40 probably.
Go by that clock up there.
I'm looking at the digital clock.
He's here.
Welcome, Tom. Glad to have you.
Bye.
Okay, we're finishing kind of public comment.
All right, Dave Boulan. Actually, maybe a digital clock would work better. The manager item. All right. The bottom line is, I did talk to the manager, Jay, here. Very upset about the last meeting we had. back in July 16th, where the last few minutes of the tape, all you heard was and nothing, and apparently nobody here caught any of that. Well, it was only my comments, because I noticed that the person that followed me, who spoke here a few minutes ago, came through loud and clear, so I find that not happy, okay? But with all that said and done, the manager told me, look, hey, we got a problem with the broadband and we're increasing it. And I absolutely believe that. I think that's great. There is another solution to that. I do understand that the minutes are recorded, if I'm not mistaken, by LST. And I would ask that those minutes, with their voice minutes recorded, be posted along with the YouTube, because obviously YouTube is not solid, period. Now, this resolution 59, power to terminate and appoint members, I think that really needs to be amended, because obviously sitting in front of me are council members. So if we're saying that the majority can terminate the minority because they don't like what their opinion is, that's not so good, all right? So you can take it and do what you want. That's my comment. And I want to see later that's going to happen, because boy, I'll go up in smoke. Anyhow, the other thing I noticed is that if you're just talking about members like Russ Sutton, I did say to Priscilla at the time when she appointed him, and directly thereafter, after he paraded around the dais with a sign, which is illegal, and then he had these other violations, that he should be terminated, and we know he was not. And I think that's really, really unfortunate. So we'll leave that alone. In terms of the vultures, well, we've all been around this. Now, I will tell you that I did take a 2-hour tour through the landfill, and I kept looking up in the sky, and all I see were Tweety birds. I also noticed that the active area, which is not that big, I don't know, maybe from the road to the back of this building, and that's rude, Priscilla. Are you trying to shut people down? All right, now, as I was saying, and if you, Laura Ray, don't stop that kind of action, there could be consequences, okay? Because I'm trying to talk, and I have my right to talk. Thank you, Blasco. No vultures found. What I did see, a small active area covered every night with several inches or a foot of dirt. I see tarps over it, and all of those are active areas which are shut down at night and completely covered, and everything else is also. No vultures. I see truck washing stations. I see gas being piped out. I see the view is spectacular, and all of those things. It is a clean run facility after 2 hours of my investigation, and anybody that's in doubt really needs to get hold of Astor, or better yet, you can run out with the head of Hanover here, Mr. Brown, and get the super tour. You can see for yourself. This is not what is seen in the paper. Here we are again. All right, there's just the rudeness of what we have in this council, and you don't stop it. That's why in the YouTube, that's why I'm saying, I'm talking, and the YouTube, you got an F, because you don't know how to run a meeting.
Thank you.
Priscilla De Leon's the only vulture.
Okay, Tom, do we have other public comment?
Well, she's more of a buzzard, Tom, than a vulture.
Okay, so I can't see anything going on down at the end.
It doesn't work. Apparently she's a cleaning lady, she doesn't work.
Word obstruction. Tom, it's not your turn to speak, you do not have the floor. We are on to the presentations and hearings. I see no other public comment. Okay, so we have an Eagle Scout project by Casey Fluke for the Lex Franklin Schoolhouse. And you can, whichever place you want to sit.
Hello, my name is Casey Fluke, and I'm here for my Eagle Scout for Lex Franklin Schoolhouse. What I will be doing for my Eagle Scout project is I will be helping the boards on the outside, because if you look up on the screen, a lot of them are warped and don't have, one is broken, I saw the last time I went there, and they're just not in great condition, especially if there's kids going there. The next thing I'm going to be doing is the benches are pretty warped, so I'm going to be putting new boards on that and new boards on the back of that, so it will stop warping. And the last thing I will be doing for the schoolhouse is I'm going to be painting the poles and the roof. I can't paint the bottom of the porch because it has a stain. I'm getting the boards from a sawmill because they have to be specialized. The cost will be $2,730 for everything. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Yep, pictures are great. Do we want to go through comments?
I'd just like to thank first of all, thank you for being a Boy Scout and striving to get your Eagle Scout. Once you get your Eagle Scout, that's a milestone that you will cherish for the rest of your life. Congratulations to you and your parents for helping to push you along in your Scoutmaster and the others in your troop for encouraging you to do this and to remain a Scout and to do great projects like this. On behalf of the township, thank you for doing something to beautify and make our community better. There's a lot of people here that do not do that, and it's a tribute to you and your character to want to do that. Let me ask you one question. You said it's going to cost $2,730 for this project. Where are you getting the money for that?
I fundraise a lot of the money, and I can get money from local businesses.
All right. Have you started your fundraising yet?
Yes.
All right. Jay, is there anything we can do to help with his fundraising efforts? Because that's a lot of money, and you know, our website has a lot of views. Is there anything that we can do to help encourage participation and donations to this project? Because it is benefiting the township, and it will help you with your fundraising efforts.
Thank you.
I'll be glad to take a look at it and get back to you.
Yeah, so what I'm going to suggest is Jay Finnegan, who's our acting township manager, well, he has your contact information. He'll reach out to you and try to coordinate with you so that we can help you with your fundraising to get this project put together so you can get the money you need to do this.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, glad to help you. Good luck.
Can I be recognized?
No, I'm going now. I go now.
No, you know, Victoria
Thank
asked,
you,
so can
Casey,
you wait?
for doing this as a school.
You've always been
And
Go away.
if you do have problems, like you're falling short with your fundraising, please come back to us and let us know what the council can do. We donate money to other organizations, a lot less than $2,700. And, you know, I'd like to see the town to pick up whatever you're short on your fundraising. Because, you know, we believe me, this particular council with the Democratic majority wastes so much money that $2,700 should be nothing, or whatever you need, it should be nothing. So I'd like to see the town to pick up the remaining tab. But thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Okay, Victoria?
Thank you. I want to echo our thanks for you taking on the Woods Franklin Schoolhouse. We have a lot of historic properties, and any little bit that our community does to help keep those properties going just enhances everything. Our third grade classes go there as part of their enrichment and learning of Lower Saucon's history, and I think it would be a wonderful project. And you know, in keeping with what we do, I would like to make a motion at this point in time that whatever you are unable to raise through community fundraising efforts, that the municipality pay the remainder that's left over. And with that motion, as
Did
the
Tom just do
second.
that? Tom just did that. He just said that.
Yeah, I think it's
I'll do a second.
You're making a motion, you don't have the dollar.
So well, the idea would be, you know, whatever time that you have to start construction or that you have to end your fundraising, you could work with our manager and provide whatever receipts you have and outstanding balance, and we would cover the rest of that. That way we don't have to have you come back and try to get the money again a second time. So that, I would like to do that.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, yes. Priscilla?
Okay, I'd like to compliment and congratulate Casey and your parents for this accomplishment. I know behind the scenes your parents do a lot to help you and encourage you, and that's a definite plus. I just think the Eagle Scout project is very rewarding for the students, and I've watched many of them come before us. And I'm a history nut, so I really appreciate you taking the time to do this at the Woods Franklin Schoolhouse. I was very instrumental when the school district started building their...
Always about fulfilled.
You went to school there, Tom. Look at her. She rode in the buggy.
The Eagle Scout up here.
Tom,
They do a
not your
project,
comment.
Priscilla has to make about her.
When the school district wanted to merge all their properties at the time onto their new campus, and they owned the schoolhouse, and the historic groups did not want that to happen. I was president of council at the time, so we went to the school district and the organizations worked together, and we ended up buying the schoolhouse for $1 or $10, $1 or $10. And therefore then we owned it, and we had a beautiful schoolhouse that needed repairs, and we were given money for that, and now we're today, with this treasure. So I would like to, again, thank you for this improvements at the schoolhouse, and this will help preserve and enhance the community, this community treasure. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and I'd like to thank you as well. I got to see your presentation at the Parks and Rec meeting and again at the Historical Society meeting. I know they really appreciate it. I've been involved with the Historical Society for a long time, and as you may have noticed, a lot of the members in the Historical Society are older folks, so it's really great to have somebody young and strong and energetic that can do a project like this. It's quite needed. It's a beautiful property, so we appreciate that you're doing this, and we thank the Eagle Scout, the whole program. It's great, and thank your parents for supporting you in this. All right, so
Just one question. Is the Historical Society donating anything to help?
Yes,
They are? Okay, good, thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
okay, do we want to take a roll call on our
We
motion?
we have a motion, but we need to make another motion for his award. Will you usually do that?
Are you amending your motion?
Include both?
Or what?
No, my motion was for the funding,
Priscilla, what award are you talking about?
for his, for doing the project.
What
That
award are
was
you
my
talking
second.
about? What award are you talking about? You're making a motion for an
He
award.
has been here for his Eagle Scout Project Award.
Just to approve doing the
He's
project, you're
sharing his
saying?
proposed project. Read the minutes. He's not getting an award.
Maybe
He's
let's
asking,
just
he's
do-
sharing his
let's
project
just
with
do a
township
roll call.
approval.
Let's just do a roll call on my motion, and then if there's another motion,
It's in
to write
writing.
to him
Get your head out of your
a
ass.
resolution.
Madam President, I think
Or
you need,
something, and do that.
I think you need to do a motion first to approve the project, and the second motion would be,
I'll make a motion to approve the project.
No, we have another one
I'll
that's on
second.
the floor right now.
We already had a motion and a second,
Which
so
Jay was talking about, which was I was talking about.
The poor boy wants to do a project, and you're making this a plus.
Pardon me.
Jason,
If I may have a floor, I think the proper way to do this is to withdraw the first motion first. Mr. Carosi, will you withdraw your
We need to
motion?
make the
No,
motion.
it was my motion.
Victoria.
Victoria, will you?
Victoria.
Will you
With
withdraw
a
your
stupid
motion?
motion that reiterated Tom's suggestion for a later meeting.
Jason, you don't have the floor.
I will withdraw my motion.
For
I
now.
will withdraw my second.
All right, so let's start with a fresh motion.
So the first step would be a motion to approve the project.
And
I made that
I'll,
motion. I just said that. I said it
second.
earlier. I'll say it a third time. I will make a motion to approve this Boy Scouts project. How hard is this? We're not launching rockets here, folks.
There is a second to that.
Thank God.
Yeah,
let's have a roll call.
Ms. Wright?
Yes.
Mr. Banonis?
Yes.
Ms. Saucon Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
yeah.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
So I would like to make another motion related to that, that the township cover whatever remaining balance there is to those supplies and materials needed to complete the project after the Boy Scout has finished his fundraising efforts.
You gotta put some limit on that for God's sake. You know, an open-ended thing, like
So there
whatever.
it was my motion, and I don't know if you heard, Priscilla did second that.
What's the dollar amount that you're capping this at? Is there a cap to this?
Well, the total project cost was $2,730, so it would be less than
That's what he
that.
thinks it's gonna cost. Do you know anything about projects and estimates?
No, they don't work, Tom. They have no concept of money.
We have a roll call, Laura.
All right, so we have a motion and a
You're
second.
lost.
Can we have a
Mr.
roll call?
Benonis?
Sure. Yes.
Ms. Saucon Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes, but there should be a limit.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Good luck.
All right, thank you, Casey.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. And
Thank
good
you
luck.
so much.
Get good weather for this.
Can't wait to see it done.
All right,
But you got nothing else to do.
next item on the agenda is the Meadows Road Pump Station update. And we have Bill Ross here to go through a lot of information.
Good evening, thank you for having me here tonight.
Hi, Bill.
Before I get started with the update on the pump station, I just want to follow up on something that was brought up at the July council meeting. There was a question as to what my qualifications were for the position. So I would just like to clarify and let you know what my qualifications are. I was twice elected as a town councilman in Clinton, New Jersey. While on council, I served on the water committee, which was responsible for the town of Clinton's water system and supply. After 5 years on council, I resigned in 1999 and moved to Lower Saucon Township. In 2001, there was an opening on the Lower Saucon Authority Board. I applied for it thinking that my background was a good fit for it. I was appointed in 2001 and became a board member in 2002. From 2003 through 2005, I served as the board treasurer for the authority. From 2006 to 2007, I served as the board vice chairman. And from 2008 through 2016, I served as the board chairman of the Lower Saucon Authority. When the previous administrator planned his retirement in 2016, he told me that I should apply for his position. He felt that our working relationship and my knowledge of the system made me a very good candidate for it. He recommended to the board that they hire me, once again based upon my experience with the system, close working relationship with him, my knowledge of the system, budgeting, and regulatory procedures. The board hired me, and I started as administrator on December 5th, 2016. I immediately became active with the Lehigh Valley Water Suppliers, which is a professional organization within the Lehigh Valley of municipal authorities and municipal water departments. I became their treasurer in 2016 and have held that position since. I became active with the Pennsylvania Municipal Authorities Association, which is a statewide organization of over 700 municipal authorities. I served as the Region 2 Director from 2018 to 2021. Region 2 encompasses Berks, Carbon, Lehigh, Monroe, Northampton, and Schuylkill counties. I served on the Board of Directors from 2018 through the current day. I served on the Executive Committee from 2021 through the current day. From September 2023 through September 2024, I served as President of the Pennsylvania Municipal Authorities Association. Once again, a statewide organization of over 700 municipal authorities. I'm a licensed operator in the state of Pennsylvania, having passed an exam and completed continuing education to retain my license. In 2025, I received the Governor's Award for Excellence in Local Government. An article in the June 2025 edition of the Authority magazine described my experience. I'm not going to read what's in it, but if you would like copies of it, I have them. I think that this establishes that I'm not only qualified to be an administrator at the Lower Saucon Authority, but I have become an industry leader throughout the entire state. I hope that this satisfies any question as to what my qualifications are for the position. Thank you. The Meadows Road Pump Station has been a project that has been going on since probably the late 1990s. It was started with the Creekside Marketplace, what's currently known as a giant shopping center. The design called for pump station, for sewage facilities for that marketplace. None existed at the time. The developers put together a plan of what they would like to see. The authority at the time was not happy with the plan that they came up with. What ended up happening was a temporary pump station was built, which exists currently at the intersection of Springtown Hill Road and Route 412. Over the past 25 years, we have worked towards creating a more permanent pump station. For the first 12 years, any plans that we had were not approved, whether by DEP, whether by Hellertown, whether by Lower Saucon Township. Most of it was because we were trying to solve the problem with the gravity system, without having to work any pumping, without any materials. And a gravity system would have required us to go either through Hellertown or along the banks of the Saucon Creek. None of those plans were approved. So at that point, this would have put us at around 2012, 2013. Those plans were stopped, and plans were moved forward as to what we could do with a mechanized system of pump station. Unfortunately for the authority at that time, we had 2 DEP projects that were forced upon us that required us to put our energies into those. And those included building meters on Clouser Drive and Black River Road, and putting in PRVs on, one on Black River Road and one on Hickory Hill Road. Those were completed in 2000, the meters were completed in 2016, the PRVs were completed in 2019. Upon completion of those, we directed our energies towards the pump station. We had a plan in place and had the system been approved at that point. We probably could have completed it by 2022, 2023. Stacy, do you have this?
Yep.
This available? Yes. Down on the bottom of the sheet, it shows what our original timeline was on the left-hand side, and then what ended up being our realistic timeline. And what caused the delays in here was the replacement of the Meadows Road Bridge. When the county decided that they were going to rebuild the Meadows Road Bridge, they moved the footprint of it. If the bridge had stayed in its previous location, we had water and sewer lines in place that we could have just kept using and there would have been no issue. However, with the new design of the bridge and the new footprint of it, we were forced to move our water lines and sewer lines. Moving them was more of an issue than it would appear to be, because not only was there involved the redesign of the lines, but also we ran into additional regulatory procedures that were not required originally. Because of the movement of the lines, the area of disturbance was expanded beyond 1 acre. We had to go through NPDES approval that wouldn't have been necessary otherwise. To make a long story short, the replacement of the Meadows Road Bridge cost us about 3 years in delays. That said, right now we are on plan and on schedule to be completed by the end of this year and to have the pump station operational before the end of the year. To us, that's very important because one of the reasons that we've had issues is we have been working with the Hellertown Borough Authority over the years to release some of our sewage flow from the temporary pump station. They take it and run it through their system, and it ends up in the effluent sewer treatment plant. Our current agreement with the Hellertown Borough Authority expires December 31st of this year. We do not want to extend that agreement, so we have put things in place with our contractors, with the bid winners, that really assures that the job will be completed by December 31st. And as I said, right now, we are on schedule for that. If we look at just to backtrack a little bit, after the July meeting, I sent an email to the acting township manager and to the council, going over some of the budgetary numbers for the entire project, which had been brought up. Subsequent to that, Mr. Banonis came back to me with a few questions in addition to the monetary questions. I did answer those questions. Thank you. Got back to him on that. But what I said at that point is it would probably be best if I appear tonight to answer any other questions. Now, one of the big questions that was brought up dealt with the entire budget for the project. And Stacy, can you pull up this sheet, please? Okay, this goes, we have 5 general ledger items for the project. This breaks them down by each general ledger item. You see what we spent in 2024, and that includes the work that was done moving the lines based upon the Meadows Road Bridge. So we spent $1,167,636.73 in 2024. So far this year in 2025, we spent only $38,000 through July. Now, that number is going to change drastically probably this month because we haven't received anything yet, but we're expecting to receive a request for payment from the project that's going on right now. The project was awarded to Doley Construction. They've been working on it for a while. They have probably completed more than 50% of the job. We expect to receive a request for payment for them. However, if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you can see that up at the top of the screen, the job total. So far, we have spent $1,778,567.41. That is what we have spent thus far. The first area on the left-hand side shows what we've spent gross and also what we have received back. Part of our work with the Meadows Road Bridge movement included getting reimbursement from Northampton County because of the project. It never would have been needed to be done without their changes. They agreed to reimburse us for a portion of the job, not the entire job, but a portion of it. So far on the water side, we received $220,611.56. On the sewer side, we received $218,108.54, and a subsequent reimbursement of $62,596.14. We're expecting approximately, and it's a guesstimate on that, about another $80,000 before the project is done. We also have applied for and received an ARPA grant in the amount of $300,000, which we will be applying to as a job. And we have 2 funds from developers that go back quite a bit that were earmarked towards the original pump station and any changes to it. They have grown over the years to a total of $1,195,915.33. So all of that net, when you look at what we're bringing in and what we spent so far, we have actually have a negative balance of $298,664.16. Obviously, there's $380,000 in that hasn't been received yet, but we will be receiving that. If you look at the bottom portion, that is expenses that we have remaining. We have the Meadows Road pump station job for building construction. That was the bid amount award. We needed to buy a generator building. We did not include that, as well as the pumps, in the bid because the time frame necessary to order them ahead of time would not have worked if they were included in the bid. The generator building had to be ordered 12 months in advance. The pumps had to be ordered 14 months in advance. We only awarded the bid early this year, with those lead times, we never would have gotten the job completed by December 31st. So we took them out of the bid and purchased them ourselves. The generator building, we paid 50% down, we have $175,000 remaining. The pumps, we put 15% down, we have $196,815.80 remaining to be paid on that. And then we have what we estimate at about $50,000 remaining in miscellaneous expenses. So the total remaining expenses are $1,169,423.80, give or take. So there, if you look on the right-hand side, our total projected cost, which would be what we spent on our remaining expenses, come to $2,947,991.21. Taking out what we have been given, the net cost to the authority on a $2.9 million project is $870,000, $759.64. So I think we've done a very good job of limiting the cost that we're responsible for and limiting the impact to our ratepayers upon that. Are there any questions about the finances of the project at this point? Yes.
First of all, I want to thank you for being here. If we had a competent liaison to the Water Authority, we'd be able to get this information. Regrettably, you have to take time after hours from your busy day to come in and talk to us and talk to the public about it. But I appreciate you doing that because it's great to hear from you and great to see you. You mentioned getting American ARPA money. Did you get any ARPA money from Lower Saucon Township? I don't think you did.
No, we did not.
And if you're a resident and taxpayer, and there are other residents and taxpayers here, you may recall that these three fools on council, we had $181,000 that they gave away to nonprofits that they could have given to the Water Authority to help subsidize this project, but they chose not to do that. All right, so I think the public needs to hear that. Let me ask you a question about some of the materials we have here. We have this HBA sewer agreement history.
Yes.
Just to be clear, HBA is the Hellertown Borough Authority, right?
Correct.
Separate and apart from Lower Saucon Authority, right?
Yes.
Hellertown Borough Authority primarily services Hellertown Borough, whereas Lower Saucon Township primarily services Lower Saucon Township, correct?
Correct.
So we've got the first extension, it looks like was done in 2004, and that expired in 2007. Would Lower Saucon Authority have paid money to Hellertown Borough Authority to get that extension back then in 2004 that expired in 2007?
No additional money, just what we had agreed to at that point.
Okay, so there was a payment that was made from Lower Saucon Authority to Hellertown Borough for that extension?
No. The agreement with the Lower Saucon Authority and the Hellertown Borough Authority was that, well, we would pay for the amount of flow that we send to them. There was no ongoing fees. What we paid for was what we were sending to them based on a flow, based upon an agreed upon rate.
Okay.
Now, what we were also responsible for was any maintenance or upgrades to their pump station that we were accessing based upon the percentage of flow of our flow that their pump station used.
So we're paying for maintenance and upkeep of a system that we're already paying for the flow that's going through the system. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And did that same arrangement where we're paying to help maintain the Hellertown Borough Authority system, was that also in effect when the second extension took place in 2007 that expired in 2012?
That has been in place for the entirety of the agreement and every extension.
So if I was to ask you the same question over and over for the agreement in 2012 that expired in 2016, and then next extension that began in 2017 that expired in 2020, and the next extension that began in 2020 that expired in 2021, and the sixth extension that began in 2024 that's scheduled to expire in December of 2025, that same agreement would be in place, that we're subsidizing the maintenance and upkeep of the Hellertown Borough Authority system through these fees.
I wouldn't say that we're subsidizing their system. We're subsidizing the one piece that we are utilizing,
which is part of their system.
Yes.
How much?
Okay, I believe that was included in the email that I had sent.
Just the ballpark.
How much does 2001?
starting in 2012, those are the numbers I was able to access quickly. It ranged from, with 1 year that was off on a low basis, a low of $12,841.94 to a high of $14,929.25.
Somewhere between $12,000 and $14,000 a year we're paying for the maintenance and upkeep of their system.
As well as the utilization of their system.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, I understand. All right.
And the majority of those fees were for the utilization.
Now, when this pump is done, this pump station is done, we don't have to pay them any more of those fees, right? We're off their
Correct.
system.
Correct.
All right. If this station was built, you said that it's been about a 3-year delay because of the bridge. If this pump station was built or sufficiently constructed that it existed, would PennDOT have had to have paid to reimburse the authority to move this system or to modify the system as a result of the bridge construction taking place?
No. No.
It's completely on us.
Yes. Well, where PennDOT was Northampton County.
Come on, Bill.
Yes.
County, so the county on the bridge.
Come on, Bill. Be honest about it.
So the county would have had to have reimbursed the township.
The county would not have had to reimburse us. The project would have been done. There would have been no need to move the water and sewer lines, so there would have been no need to reimburse us.
Well,
then what did you do?
Why wasn't that done then?
Why wasn't what done?
Well, you had to move water lines with regard to the bridge, right?
Right.
The sewer lines, I'm sorry.
Right.
Okay, and that was with regard to this project, right?
Correct.
Okay. Had that work been done before, then you're telling me that those lines would not have had to be moved?
Oh, no. If the bridge had not been, if the bridge hadn't been moved.
Right. The bridge would be moved. So because of the bridge being moved, all this work would have had to have been done, right?
Well, there wouldn't have been a need for it to be done because we had water lines in place. We had a sewer line ready to go. It wasn't in operation yet, but it was ready. It was in place so that when we did connect the sewer line to the new pump station, it was already in place. So there would have been no need to move the lines. We would have been good with what we had in place already.
You mentioned that the county provided some reimbursement.
Yes.
Can you tell me a dollar amount or a percentage or both?
Yeah, the dollar amount was, I'm going to give you separate totals. I don't have the combined total. $220,611.56, $218,108.54, $62,596.14, and we still have what we expect to be approximately $80,000 remaining.
So roughly $550,000 or $600,000 total.
About that, yes.
Out of how much total cost?
I believe that the contract for the job was around $800,000. However, there was some work in the contract that would have been needed to be done anyway if the bridge, if the lines hadn't been moved. For example, we had to connect our existing lines at the top of Meadows Road, up by the entrance to the gun club. That's where our system stopped. We had to connect from there down to the bridge. So that would have been needed to be done anyway.
It sounds like the county reimbursed you about 65 to 70% of the cost.
I think that's close to it, yeah.
Okay. Why didn't they reimburse you the other 30 to 35% to make us completely, make you completely?
Because that was work that we would have had to done, that would have had to have done anyway, that they were not responsible for.
All right, thanks, Bill.
Yeah. So Bill, you said this was money you were paying our town. You said you can only go back to 2013 or something?
Well,
so we've been paying it since 2001?
Yes, those were the records that I had readily available without going in, digging into deep files.
Readily available, the meeting was in July.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Tom.
So you
if you'd like to, you're welcome to come over and I'll dig through the files with you.
All right, I prefer you just have it tonight and we're prepared.
Oh, I'm very prepared. I'm here.
Yeah. All right, very, very quickly. I seem to recall when I was in some of those meetings that PennDOT did agree to pay for any moving a line. That would be required if the bridge changed location, which it did.
PennDOT was not involved with this at all. It was all Northampton County and us.
PennDOT administer the project for the county?
Yeah, I could find meeting minutes from the water authority meeting for you.
PennDOT administered the project, but our negotiations were with Northampton County.
I can find meeting minutes where you said you had discussions with PennDOT with locations to bridge and who would pay for moving of the line. You regret you never, you denied you never said that at a water authority?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I'm having trouble understanding you.
Okay. You said that you didn't have any negotiations with PennDOT about reimbursement with on. And you're going to stand by that?
Our discussions with reimbursement were directly with Northampton County. Northampton County then worked with PennDOT.
So you're saying you didn't have any discussions with PennDOT regarding the movement of the line or reimbursement?
To my recollection, no.
Okay, that contradicts meetings that I was at, that you attended and you spoke on this stuff.
Which meeting would that be at? I could dig up the minutes.
Yeah, we'll have to dig up the minutes. I'm sure they're with the records of how much you paid Howard Town between 2001 and 2013.
Which meeting was that?
I don't think you met with Dave Rick.
Okay, I thought you were prepared.
What's that? What's that, Phil?
I said I thought you were prepared.
Did you meet with Dave Radar about this project?
Let's see. We met at the job site a few times, but when we were at the job site, we didn't discuss the reimbursements. That was done more through emails.
So you discussed reimbursement with Mr. Radar through?
I'm sorry?
You discussed reimbursement with Mr. Radar through email?
We discussed them on a high level, but we never got the specifics of them because that was done through Northampton County. Was there a point to this?
Mr. Radar was an employee of the Department of Transportation.
What is the point, Tom? We got the money from Northampton County.
He was not an employee of Northampton County. He was an employee of the PennDOT. And you said you never met with PennDOT to discuss reimbursement with moving on the line.
That's not what I said. I said that we discussed it on a high level, but I discussed the specifics with Northampton County. The checks were written by Northampton County.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now, high level. Okay. Now, the building and the generator. When we were first discussing all that in 2019, 2020, 21, what were the cost estimates for that if we were to word it down?
I don't have that information with me.
Was it significantly lower than what you ended up paying?
Significantly, that's a relative term. It was lower, yes. It was lower.
Right. And you were urged by some on the board to buy those products. The generator and the building.
It was discussed to buy them, but there was a chance that what we bought would not have been the right generator or the right building for what we needed to do at the time. Yes, we could have bought them, but we were taking the risk that they may have ended up being the wrong product. That is why we did not buy them at the time.
We would have bought them at a lower price.
It doesn't help to buy something at a lower price if it's the wrong product.
Correct. But it ended up being the right product.
Well, we don't know. We didn't buy it at the time. As a matter of fact, right now, we are changing one of the portions of the generator that we're getting. That we have to get a new inverter And the one that we had planned, turns out that we need a bigger one. So just because we could have bought it earlier doesn't mean we should have. And I'm going to stand by our decision that we made the right decision not to buy it at the time.
Right. So you're saying now that you bought the wrong one now, you got to return that one.
No. We don't have to return anything.
I thought that's what you said. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
No. We the generator that we got is the correct one. The power inverter that we were going to get with it is not, so we're getting a new power inverter. However, there's not a 12-month lead time on the power inverters, so we have the flexibility to make that change now.
Okay, I'm going to ask that we wrap up this topic because I don't see the point. We've been on this for a half an hour. Bill has provided us with a ton of information about this whole project that goes back 25 years. And the Lower Saucon Authority is its own entity. We do not micromanage them.
And if it would have been done earlier, it would have been less expensive for our taxpayers.
Hold on a second. Right now, let's stop what you're saying.
And
we
wouldn't
Tom?
have to pay Howard Town much.
Okay,
Tom?
You're saying a lot of lies here, Tom, so stop talking.
You know, it's a PennDOT, Can County.
Larry, you can comment, just go ahead and grab the mic.
We have other people here to speak from the authority, and we are going to wrap up the topic.
Tom, you and I work on the board together, so my name's Larry.
Larry, can you grab a microphone so it's on the YouTube?
So, can you hear me?
Yes.
So my name's Larry Corcoran, I've been on the board for 6 years. So, my background is I'm a vice president of finance at Air Products. Been on the board for 6 years. This project's been underway for almost all those 6 years. Bill is an extremely competent administrator. This is a very complex project. Hopefully you got a sense for compression, gravity, water flows, years of bureaucracy. We are advised by Hanover Engineering, who's extremely competent. The board is extremely competent. We made the right decisions at the right time. It's a $3 million project for an organization that's $2 million of revenue per year. We tried to execute this during COVID, when there was extreme inflation, not only in labor, but in parts and materials and delays from those suppliers. So all this was executed during that time. And we're about to come on stream in December and double the capacity of our sewer. That's going to allow the township to expand and provide additional sewer to hospitals or to other parts of our township that don't have sewer from the authority. So I don't know what all this badgering of our administrator is. I take it personally. He's very vested in the authority. So it's actually insulting to badger him like this. That's why I'm here, because I thought this might happen, and it's just not fair.
Right.
Tom, I mean, I appreciate your passion, but I think it's misplaced. We've done a good job as an authority, as a board. A lot of respect for Hanover Engineering. We have a great lawyer who negotiates these contracts. Hellertown had us, had leverage on us. We had to negotiate the best thing we could. As this sewage station took longer than expected, they had leverage on us. We still had a good agreement. We negotiated it hard. We have a good lawyer. We have a good engineer. We have a good administrator, and we've created a pump station that's going to allow the township to provide excellent sewer and expand. So I don't understand what all this is.
You brought this up. The only thing I would say is that that's great. And it's kind of like final. This thing's been planned since 1999.
I can't speak to 1999. And I don't even know why you're asking for water costs or sewer costs back past 2012. That's badgering.
We paid a lot of money, and our
yes.
Taxpayers, your ratepayers paid a lot of money. And that's who I represent.
I think we were a good authority.
Larry, let me just ask you a question. You brought up a point. You said that your lawyer, Dave Backus,
yes.
You negotiated a good deal with...
We negotiated a deal.
You said it was a good deal.
No, we negotiated a deal for extending their sewer treatment for our sewage.
Well, I'm a little bit confused about that because when I asked Bill questions about each one of those extensions, yes, he said it was the same terms.
Well, the pricing was renegotiated.
But you said the same, it was between $12,000 and $14,000 a year, right? Is there, I mean,
The pricing was renegotiated.
Well, what happens is the rate changes.
But is your contention that we didn't have a fair agreement? So I don't understand.
I'm just trying
We're trying to do.
I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not attacking
We're
you.
negotiating a good faith with the township next to us so they can provide services for us.
I'm just trying to understand that, because that's why I asked Bill those questions about each one of those 6 separate extended agreements. Were they the same terms? And he said they were the same terms.
Well, terms and price, I mean, the general terms. Terms goes beyond price.
In the price is the same range, same 12.
In the email that I sent you, following the July meeting, there was a HBA transmission rate history, and it shows you what the rate per 1,000 gallons that they charge us was. Now that rate changes because rates change. Whether it's water rates, sewer rates, whatever.
You told me the real dollar value of that is between $12,000 and $14,000 a year.
Right, the real dollars have been consistently between $12,000 and $14,000 range.
I'm not attacking you, I'm just asking a question. I hope I don't come across that.
I do want to clarify one thing though, okay? We do not collect one tax dollar at all. Taxpayers do not fund us. We are 100% funded by our ratepayers. Our water customers pay our
You also pass along the cost that the city of Bethlehem gives to us for the water, right? They bang us out for a higher percentage, and then you have to pass that along to our customers.
Yeah, we do. We have to pay for the water.
Right. Because they've raised our rates, what, 17% or something like that?
There was a contention that...
Mr. Busco's husband, is that who it was?
He's in charge of
You provide water
raise the rates that we're paying for water.
and they pay for it.
There was a
But
contention...
they're also residents and they're taxpayers.
Okay, look, we don't have a whole lot of options. We have to take water from Bethlehem.
Okay.
The other thing was, we regardless of when we put the pump station in, we were going to have to move the sewer and water lines because they moved the bridge. So whatever slant Tom was taking, that if we had put the pump station in earlier, we wouldn't have had to move and incur that cost, is not correct.
No.
We would have had to move the water and sewer pipe no matter what.
And twice maybe.
They would have reimbursed us for the cost.
Okay, there's no point in arguing these things. Again, this is Lower Saucon Authority. They are their own entity. We do not manage them. They have their own board. They charge their rates, and that's how they fund their system. It's not Lower Saucon Township. You're trying to micromanage, and you're trying to convolute stories from 25 years ago into all of a sudden there's a problem. There's no problem. We got great information, caught us up on the whole history of this project,
We're going to
and
have a new pump station.
I appreciate that you guys came here and gave us all this information.
We're not going to rely on Millertown, and we're going to be able to provide expansive sewer to all new customers in the township.
Yep. The one thing that I would like to end up with is that, and Larry did mention this, once a pump station is done, it's going to increase the capacity of the number of customers that we can serve. Right now, based upon the way that everything is set up, even with the new pump station, we can still only serve the Creekside Marketplace, the giant shopping center. In order to serve additional customers, the Act 537 plan, which you approved funding for last month, must be approved to include additional customers that we can serve. So I would ask whatever diligence you can towards updating the 537 plan. The sooner you get that approved and in place, the sooner we can serve additional customers who need sewer services, specifically in the Hellertown Park area.
I think that the overall intent that we had when we put it in the budget last year, so that we had the money this year to make sure it happens, is that it would happen at the same time that the pump station comes online, so that we can offer sewer services to all the other people in that area in addition to the Giant Center. And I'll just say, I appreciate you coming and putting together all of the information. I think it's imperative that the people see how much work that you do and how much work that our staff does. You have a very, very small staff that does a lot of work. A lot of volunteer effort goes in from the board's perspective, and I appreciate everything that they have done. So thank you.
Thank you.
Nobody's after that this project's gonna be done more than me, because it's been 26 years. And I just hope if we ever have to build another pump station somewhere in the township, it doesn't take 26 years.
Well, we shouldn't have to because we just doubled the capacity.
Correct. So if we ever have to build another pump station, hopefully it won't take 26
We're
years.
done, Tom.
A quarter of a century.
Yeah, whatever information we can provide to the council, please
Thank
don't
you.
hesitate to let me know.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Bill.
you. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
Okay.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is 5A.
It's always
This
there,
is for Resolution 60-2025 for Norco Public Safety Grant Program. I'd like to make the motion to approve Resolution 60-2025 to submit the 2025 Norco Public Safety Grant for purchase and installation of an LSAG mobile license plate reader with an estimated cost of $17,725.44 with a municipal match of $5,908.48. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Do we have any comments needed on this one?
Jay, I have a question related to license plate readers. I noticed that there was a permanent license plate reader that was erected on Meadows Road. On the right side, it used to be on the west side of the road. I don't remember us ever approving that. How did that ever come to be? There was a fixed reader with a solar panel on the top of it, and I don't remember that ever coming before council. I don't know how it ever got there. And it's a township road.
I'd be glad to check in, and when do you know when it went in?
In the past 6 weeks.
I'll check on
One
that.
tall black pole. The only reason I bring that up is there are, I think, some constitutional lawsuits that have been filed against municipalities that have those in place. And those cases are still pending in the courts. And I don't know what sort of exposure, if any, that has. I was surprised to see it there.
I'll be glad to check into it.
It's on Meadows Road, right when you get off of Sidersville Road on the right side.
All right, do we have any other discussion?
No? Good.
If not, let's have a roll call.
Ms. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Benonis?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, next item is for 2477 Wassergass Road, the Grello waiver request for well isolation. The applicant is requesting a well isolation waiver approval for replacement of their septic system located at 2477 Wassergass Road.
So, okay, I'll make a motion to approve the draft motion for waiver approval of the well isolation distance for the Grello on-lot sewage permit application 80575-25-003, 2477 Wassergass Road, tax map parcel Q8-1-27 for the August 27th, 2025 council meeting. Wait a minute, that date's wrong. I'm not there yet, right? It should say August 20th. So I'm going to ask to change the draft motion to August 20th. And it has conditions. And I'll make a motion to approve that based on the date change.
I'll second.
All right, do we have any discussion? I don't have anything.
You guys will take care of the date change in the appropriate places, right?
Yeah, you're not going to put anything other than what you're reading tonight.
Okay, just checking.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Benonis?
So.
Yes.
Back in.
You just verbally voted yes.
Outside the room.
Ms. Altough Cordero?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Next item, 5C, authorization to execute stormwater agreement for 4235 Lewis Avenue. I would make the motion to authorize the execution of the stormwater management agreement between Verizon Wireless and Lower Saucon Township.
I'll second that.
And if I may, just to be clear, that this is part of the court stipulation that was entered into prior.
I can't hear you, Jay.
That was, I'm sorry, that was part of the stipulation that was entered in the court system in some litigation. So at this point, it's simply a formality that we have to move forward with it. It's a condition of moving forward with the settlement agreement.
It's unfortunate this box is in the way, disrupting the meeting, but whatever. I guess it's a shield.
I don't like the shield in the
You're
way.
piping up about?
If you would be here, you'd see it.
Probably a vulture.
Then I don't want to see you.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Benonis is not here at the moment. Ms. Altough Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yeah, I think Ms. De Leon said here, so not yet.
If I did, I'll change it to yes. You guys know what I'm saying.
Motion
passes
passes 4-0.
Right. Next, we have
So the motion is 4-0, 1 absent. Jason, because he's out of the room?
Yes. I do have that, Stacy. Okay. Next item is 5D, the zoning hearing board application, variance 0725, Roy and Ginger Senecal for 2459 Polk Valley Road. Applicants requesting relief to allow for construction of a new residential accessory garage, 25 feet from the side of their property line where a 40-foot setback is required. Is anybody present that wanted to talk on this? Sure, if you can either sit at the table or stand at the podium, whichever you like. Just state your name and give us a little.
Ginger Senecal for the record. Okay, so do you have the paperwork in front of you as to what we're asking for in the garage?
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't know if you have any questions.
I didn't have any questions. Did Priscilla or Victoria?
I think we should take no action, send it to the zoning hearing board.
This is a pretty straightforward request, so nothing too complicated.
And I think just
have a question.
I was going to second the motion, but I was going to.
Did you talk to the neighbors? Or what are the neighbors think?
We sent letters to the neighbors and nobody's responded yet, so we don't have any negative feedback.
When did you send that?
We sent them last week. We sent that to the zoning.
Okay.
Yeah, my husband had it notarized and he sent it to zoning, and we have the zoning meeting next Monday.
So.
Okay, all right, as long as the neighbors are aware, I'm fine with it.
Okay, thank you.
So, you understand what happens if we in fact pass take no action stance. What will happen is you will go before the zoning hearing board, who has the ultimate authority to either grant or deny your request. Sometimes the township involves itself, sometimes we recommend, sometimes we take no action. Most of the time we take no action because we try to stay independent. That's why we have a zoning hearing board, it's completely independent. So coming here tonight, we don't really have the ability to make or break your request. It's really the zoning hearing board. So if you have other neighbors that are in support, or at least would be willing to come with you and say that they don't have a problem with what you're applying for, that generally bodes well before the zoning hearing board. But otherwise, I wish you luck, and I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, thank you very much.
We have to vote on it.
Yeah.
Did we get the motion on the second, Stacy?
I heard a motion, I'm not sure I heard a
Sorry,
second.
you made the motion.
Priscilla made the motion and I was trying to second, but Mr. Croce had a question.
Okay,
so-
Priscilla made the motion, and are you
I'll
seconding?
I second, or whatever.
Victoria seconded.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't, well, it doesn't, but.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Banonis?
Yes.
Ms. Altough Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, good luck at zoning next week. All right, next up we have, let me get my paper in order. 5E is the zoning hearing board application for variance 0925. And let's see, I was given a note here, we have a typo on our agenda. The name Ray is actually Robert. I apologize for that. So it's for Robert and Margaret Abbott at 3536 North Drive. Do we have somebody here?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Rob Albert here, requesting the variance of 5 feet against a rear yard setback, which is 40 foot in the township, and I'm asking for 5 feet of that, which would leave the setback at 35 feet for the construction of a pavilion in my rear of my yard.
Does anybody have any questions? This one also pretty straightforward.
No, I'll make a motion
It's
to.
the same thing. Did the neighbors, been notified or?
Tom, you know
I said-
that's required for zoning, so they do that.
I know, but I want to know, when I want to make sure.
I sent 7 letters to my neighbors as required. They went out in accordance with the regulations or the requirements of the zoning hearing board, so they all went out to my neighbors. There's a sign in my front yard that was also placed there by the zoning hearing board, letting everyone know that the meeting was happening next Monday night.
Okay, I'll
Great, thank you for being so thorough with the notification.
My motion to send this to the zoning hearing board with no action.
I'll second that, and I think if you heard what I said to the other applicant, same applies for you.
Thank you very much.
All right, can we have a roll call?
Look,
Mr. Banonis?
Yes.
Ms. Altough Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, the next item is 5F. This is zoning hearing board appeals determination for variance 0825, Philip Swint, 2490 Apple Butter Road. Okay, I wasn't looking and you're up there. Okay, you can just tell us your name and.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Leishaker from Gross McGinley, representing Mr. Swint. Mr. Swint is also here. I've never done one of these before, so I'm here to answer whatever questions you might have as we get ready to go before the zoning hearing board on the notice of violation.
The attorney,
Yes, ma'am.
well, normally they go before the zoning hearing board, and we always look at them with counsel to see if we have any questions or, relaying something to the
I'm ready for that.
zoning hearing board, so.
I think it would be helpful if Mr. Mitch could give us some background about what's going on right now and what's happening.
The notice of violation was issued June 19th of this year after an inspection that was conducted by myself and the township manager, as well as a representative from the Department of Environmental Protection. The violation included 16 violations that are on the memo, as well as on the notice of violation. I think you guys got a copy of that, but they're on the memo. And essentially, there is a salvage yard operation on the property, and the various other violations go along with the regulations for a salvage yard that are not being followed, as well as the decision of the November 18th, 1996 zoning hearing board hearing, where Mr. Swint was granted a variance from section 160803B9, older ordinance that's no longer in effect, to permit him to park commercial motor vehicles in an RA district. It's the opinion of the zoning officer that the variance was limited in what it granted,
It was permitted to park commercial vehicles and a few containers on the property. It was not permitted to store salvage materials and various other vehicles that some are in working condition and some aren't on the property. He would only be permitted to park the vehicles that are currently in use for the business, as well as a certain amount of containers. And there were some other regulations that went along with that, like cleaning the vehicles at night, things like that, that to our knowledge have not been followed.
So from your perspective, your interpretation of our zoning ordinance, there are active violations that, and looking at the variance being requested, it looks like the applicant is looking to obtain favorable opinion from the zoning hearing board concerning the interpretation versus yours.
Well, he's not requesting a variance. It's an important distinction to make that a variance and an appeal from a determination of the zoning officer are two different things. So
she's only a lawyer. I mean, she's only a lawyer. Thank you for explaining that to me.
So he's not, a variance is essentially accepting that what he's doing is not in accordance with the ordinance and is asking permission for an exception, while an appeal, he's disagreeing with my interpretation. So it's an important distinction to make sure everybody's aware of.
Could you explain to me? I'm sorry, I think
I'm not done.
Okay.
From my perspective, I think
The blind dog he has for.
I think that it's important that we continue to support our determinations from our staff. I know this property for a long time, and I do want to say that I appreciate Mr. Swin's work in the community. I know that he supplied garbage removal to a lot of people that otherwise didn't have any place else to get their garbage removed from that part of the township, and he is a small business owner. But at the same time, I think that we have to contend, we have to contend with what we have before us at this moment. So I'm inclined to support our zoning officer.
I think we should also make a motion to send the township solicitor to appear before the zoning hearing board to represent the township's interest in this matter relative to zoning violations and to support the determination of the zoning officer.
I make a motion to give the landfill.
I'll second that.
Okay.
So, I have a question.
Okay, you can ask, Jason.
I'm going to, thank you. You mentioned something about an older ordinance that he had received a variance for, that ordinance is no longer in effect.
Right.
So what effect then does that have on the variance that he received? Because if he's operating under that variance, is that variance still in effect because the ordinance on which the variance is provided is no longer?
Right, yeah, the variance is still in effect. I was just making that clarification because I cited the section 160803, and that's not going to line up with our current ordinance. Zoning's last chapter goes up to 180, so I was just making a clarification there, but the variance is still in effect, yeah.
The other question I have for you is, you handled this fairly quickly. I guess you got some complaints over the past 2 weeks and you jumped on this right away and here's this violation notice. Why didn't you treat other violations by other residents the same way? In particular, Mr. Solange was in here repeatedly complaining about Mr. Sutton cutting down the trees and blocking roadways and everything else. Like, who's whipping you to tell you to push this thing along so quickly, while other residents who may not be of the same political party or be opposed to the majority here don't get the same level of attentiveness and customer service?
Yeah, the issue with Mr. Sutton is being dealt with.
Yeah, I understand it's being dealt with, but this issue is being dealt with immediately by you, whereas that other issue has lingered and percolated literally now for 8 months. This thing started at least 8 months ago. And I brought this, and I repeatedly put this on the agenda, and yet it wasn't handled diligently and quickly, but here you're very, very, very quick to react to Mr. Swin. And I'm not defending Mr. Swin or anything else. What I have a problem with is the process and the unequal application of the zoning enforcement by you and by this township. That should not be. We should treat everybody equally. And when a resident comes in with a complaint, they should get the same level of gold glove treatment or white glove treatment that apparently Priscilla or Victoria, whoever it was, that put a bug up somebody's ass to make this an attention, an item that needs attention.
To the accusation that anybody, including myself, had any discussion or any interference or influence on what our zoning officer does. Before you open your mouth, make sure you have information. Don't accuse people of doing things that never happened.
Okay.
Mr. Mitch, did I ever instruct you, or do you have any communications with me about the Swint property?
No, zoning typically doesn't take direction from the elected officials. It takes in complaints and then deals with them on a case-by-case basis and applies.
What's the difference between this
So
case
I never,
and
so I never emailed you to ask you about the Swint property and hurry and move along some kind of violation, have I?
No.
Have I called to harass you?
No.
Have I come into the office and asked come into your room and say, tell me what's going on with Swint, I want you to move it along?
No.
Okay, thank you. So I hope that Mr. Banonis can apologize for the accusation.
There you go, I apologize.
Thank you.
Very heartfelt, meaningful apology.
Yes.
Yeah, enjoy.
I'm sure nobody did.
Yeah. So give me the explanation. Well, why is Mr. Swint being treated differently than Mr. Sutton? Is it because Mr. Sutton is on the EAC and one of their cronies? Where's Mr. Swint? Is it on any of their chosen committees and their cronies?
Mr. Mitch, have I come to you and asked you not to do anything with Mr. Sutton?
We're off topic here. We're off topic. We're talking about the Swint property, not how our zoning acts.
So just to be clear, I have not contacted you about Mr. Sutton either, have I?
Okay, does Jay want to speak at all?
Yep, there we go.
Want to talk on this? Okay. Manager has some insight, but he doesn't want to jump in here. Let's take a roll call on this.
Laura, you have to speak up, I hear you.
We're going to take a roll call on this because we're not talking about this anymore. Well,
and just to reiterate,
you already all made your arguments.
He didn't. No, we didn't. Tom, go ahead. I recognize you. Go ahead. I hear you.
Take your place.
this is the motion on directing the solicitor.
I think it's a legitimate question. I think get your word they haven't, but you know, we do need to treat all residents the same, as much as possible. You know, that's you know, it's what we all need that. So I hope you at least put the same type of effort into the Sutton matter as you put into this Swint matter. And I think if Mr. Swint's been cited, Mr. Sutton should need to be cited.
And Tom, I would just point out to remember Rocky Vecito when Priscilla sicked the conservation district on him.
Okay,
right?
now we're off topic.
Yeah.
Let's have a roll call. Let's have a roll call.
They don't do this
Yes.
Yeah, they don't do
That's right.
Yeah.
Priscilla called the Northampton Conservation on Mr. Rock.
Did you hear my vote yes?
I heard Victoria, yes. Mr. Carochi is next.
Yes.
Ms. De Leon,
Yes.
Ms. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Banonis.
This is to send Susie into the zoning hearing board?
I believe that's what the motion is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you say yes, Mr. Banonis?
Yes, I said sure.
Motion passes 5-0.
Good to see you.
Good to see you,
Like
Jeff.
15 years.
Yes. Enjoyed the show.
Could write about it. Nobody would
Yeah,
believe
Tony
it.
Salamone.
Make sure you tell your colleagues.
Yep.
No, nobody really.
All right, next item 5G, discussion and possible action on Priscilla De Leon's complaints of vultures in Steel City, including purchase of vulture effigies for distribution to complaining residents. Now, I will clarify, this was requested to be put on the agenda with this odd wording by Jason Banonis, and it is not specifically Priscilla De Leon's complaints about vultures.
That's it, like others.
So,
Salamone.
open the discussion, Jason.
All right, so I'll start the discussion. I'm going to start the discussion with an immediate motion the township to allocate $3,000 to purchase a total of 50 vulture effigies to alleviate this very serious problem that Priscilla De Leon brought to council's attention. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Thank you, Tom. All right, we have a motion and a second. Now I'll make my comments. So if you recall at the, I believe it was at the June or July meeting, Priscilla brought up this crazy story that Steel City is being overrun by vultures. And she's claiming that those vultures are the consequence of the Bethlehem landfill's activities taking place, without any evidence of that whatsoever, and discounting the fact that Russ Sutton has clear-cut his property and perhaps displaced the roosting areas for these vultures. So this seems to be a very serious problem, so serious that Priscilla had to bring it up in the council meeting, so I think that we need to meet a serious problem with a serious response. And my serious response to that is to propose that we acquire and give out to those residents who are interested vulture effigies to try to scare off these vultures that seem to be surrounding Priscilla's home. To do so would be in line with how council has acted previously. We've received complaints in the past of feral cats running wild in Steel City. Maybe there are certain people that are feeding these feral cats and causing this feral cat problem, but I don't know. But the way we dealt with that feral cat problem was to do a trap and neuter program where the township would pay for a certain number of traps to acquire these cats and send them off to be neutered. There's a program for it, and that apparently was very successful. So let's address this problem head on, like we've addressed other problems Steel City head on. We've done a lot for Steel City. We've repaved Steel City. We improved the fire company in Steel City. We improved the park over in Steel City. We moved the landfill away from Steel City. So let's continue to help Steel City, and my proposal here is to have these vulture effigies. So Stacy, I provided some images. So I think the ultimate virtue signaling, you have the We Stand With Ukraine, fund our library, and all this other bullshit. So why don't you people that are anti-landfill stand behind it and get yourselves a vulture and hang that vulture out in your front yard so that you can signal to the community that you're an anti-landfill person, that you don't want these damn vultures swooping around and roosting around your property. And apparently the proper way you display these vultures is upside down because it looks like a dead vulture. When you got a dead vulture, it scares away the live vultures. So my suggestion, Stacey, could you scroll through the other pictures? There were 3, I thought. Well, that gives a representation of it, but for those who may be interested as to what this would look like, I have a real version of it here. And I certainly want to be safe as we deal with this. But you may want to see what I'm proposing that we acquire. And I don't know if they work or not, but this is what a vulture effigy looks like. And we'll put this out there. And this is what the vulture effigy would look like right here. So if you got these vultures, you could hang it upside down like this, right? You'd hang it upside, apparently it doesn't work because these buzzards are still here. But you'd hang the vulture upside down like this as a symbol to the other live vultures to scare these vultures away, right? So these vultures go like this. You hang it like that. You can hang it anywhere. These photographs that I have, I don't know if you have those things. There's some people hang them off their houses, like off the front like this. You can hang it off a pole. But apparently this is supposed to help your problem, Priscilla. So you've got the vulture problem in Steel City, and this is how you can fix the vulture problem, by putting up some vulture effigies. So my suggestion would be, let's help out the residents of Steel City with this, and let's put out some dead vultures to, first of all, try to address the problem, but also signify your solidarity with the anti-landfill movement. And there you have it, right there. And just be careful, though. If you put these out, I don't know if vultures are going to come around or not, so protect your eyes and your ears and for proper protection like this falconry glove.
Enough of the show and tell. Priscilla, do you want to go next since you were named on this?
Appreciate it, please. I'm going to read a statement and then Stacy will show pictures, okay? So, a resident recently contacted me about increase in vulture activity in the Johnston and Matthews Avenue area during the month of June. And at that time, I asked the manager to put it on the landfill's July 17th meeting agenda. And I did bring it up under, I believe, reports at the last meeting. So, photos were shared showing a group of vultures gathered on church property viewed from Johnston Avenue and the resident noted that they were also in her yard. Though she wasn't able to get a photo, her neighbor reported them gathered near her pool on Matthews. While we understand the wildlife sightings can be seasonal, the frequency and locations mentioned have caused some concern among neighbors. Living in Stowe City, I can speak firsthand about the vultures. They have increased in numbers this summer as opposed to past years. Years ago, I also photographed vultures on a fence near the entrance to the landfill. However, the area isn't limited to just Steel City. Some years ago, there were reports of vultures on houses in a subdivision off Easton Road. So, an ongoing reappearance that I know about currently are the church property, Matthews, Schwab, Johnston, Roberts, Mitzel, Saucon Avenue. There may be other areas, so please let me know. And according to Jay, contacted the Pennsylvania Game Commission, that bird vultures are a federally protected species. Other than deterrence, like loud noises, residents cannot euthanize or harm them. Jurisdiction over management and control rests with the USDA. If a dead vulture is found and the cause of death is not obvious, the Pennsylvania Game Commission should be notified so they can investigate for any disease or concern. And I have the website if you're interested. I also found very interested that I also contacted Roger Bellis, Waste Management Program Manager, Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, and he said that residents should report vulture-related complaints through the same channels used for landfill concerns like odors. And he gave the phone number as 570-826-2511 online, and then he has a website here. I will post this tomorrow on my Facebook page. DEP will determine whether this situation constitutes a violation of the Bethlehem Landfill Corporation's DEP permit, specifically by evaluating the nuisance minimization and control plan, BLC's responsiveness to off-site vector concerns. So a request was made to the township, and Jay, we were right in the middle of changing our website, so I don't know if this ever got put on with the other odor page that says the numbers and all that stuff. So we'll have to check on that. But in the meantime, DEP made their usually monthly inspection to the landfill, and on July 11th, the township received that notice on July 23rd, and it was, let's see here, to the July 17th, although the July 17th report also addressed odor issues, the following observations pertain specifically to vultures. That should be 11, sorry, 11, July 11. Upon entering the land, this is from a DEP inspector, I have nothing to do with him, don't know them. Read what's on the report. Upon entry to the landfill, the inspector observed approximately 20 vultures flying above the working face and landing on the access road to the working face. Due to recent complaints about vultures landing on neighboring property, the inspector recommended that BLC should note vultures observed off-site in their daily odor patrol logs. BLC should consider off-site harassment methods to deter vulture activities. And an exit interview was conducted with Cody White at the conclusion of this inspection, and the DEP inspector noted number 4, recommendation to document off-site vulture sightings and consider off-site harassment strategies. What I find interesting is on July 17th, the landfill committee met, the quarterly landfill committee meeting, and we had representatives from BLC there, and you know, they knew that DEP talked about this in their report, and there was silence. Did you hear them say anything about vultures at the meeting? Oh, I'm sorry, we missed that one. Oh my God.
Do you want the pictures displayed, Priscilla?
Just 1 second. So I really appreciate that this item is on so that we can get the word out to residents being harassed by vultures. And I'm urging residents to take pictures and report the complaint to DEP. We can photograph vultures, but not odors. So let's keep photographing the vultures. And yes, Stacy, please show the pictures.
We should burn these effigies. I have a question.
Okay, we're gonna look at some
Now,
photos.
you said that the vultures are federally protected. Why are they federally protected?
What I said was, according to Officer Wider, PA Game Commission, vultures are federally protected species. So.
Okay, well, if they're federally protected, and you said there were 20 at the landfill?
They were flying around and they counted them and there were 20.
Is that any different?
Well, then we can't close the landfill. The vultures will harm the vultures.
You're putting words on my mouth. I'm not answering any of your questions. Does everybody see the pictures? I'm speaking right now, and I'm not answering any more of your questions.
You want to kill federally protected vultures.
Did anybody hear me say
John, will you stop yelling and start making up noise?
And you should be ashamed of yourself. What type of environmentalist are you? To kill vultures by shutting their landfill. They're home. It's their home. You want to make these vultures homeless.
Tom, will you slow down? You not have the floor.
That did not
and
hear
you're
me
going to be
say the word
responsible.
So, anyway, he's taking away from your interest in looking at the pictures of the vultures. I don't think anybody here would like to live next door to any one of these homes and have vultures, because your home could be next. And what they do is they pick away at the roof and they destroy the roof. So, and it also...
I'm glad you agree to protect the vultures. We got to keep the landfill open and
Is that the pickleball court that our Boy Scout?
No, that's actually in the church parking lot.
Wow. The Gaga pit.
It's not I don't think it's a, I don't know. We're not sure if it's a Gaga pit, but it's at the church parking lot.
So that's where the children are supposed to be playing?
Correct.
Well, I think we should hang the vulture effigies at the park in all these locations with all these photographs. Maybe $3,000 is enough. I'm welcome to increasing the budget for that. I think that we should have vultures everywhere. You know, why not put them everywhere that everybody sees a vulture? Come on in and get your vulture. Free vultures for everybody.
You might think differently if they were crowds of vultures on your house. But making fun of other people that have this issue and clearly
this is serious.
It's very
It's a serious product.
Intimidating to go to a place where there are these birds like that, especially at a playground. Could you imagine taking your kids to a playground and there's
serious thing. It's
a dozen vultures there and their wingspans are this big? They are huge.
I was not finished speaking.
It's a robust bird control and bird repellent tool designed to deter various bird species such as vultures and turkey buzzards from congregating or inhabiting areas like airports, farms, and urban settings, while stimulating the appearance of the playing stones and this decoy exclusion birds' natural instincts effectively preventing them from entering the nest. Here's the solution. You want to talk about problems? You're not a solution person, Priscilla. You're a problem person. You create problems and fix them.
Can I call for a point of order?
Here's the solution right here.
I'd like a point of order.
Time where we're going to recess at this point.
Folks, you actually won't pay for get your own vultures. They're available on Amazon.com.
Wait a minute, she called for a recess.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody's yelling and nobody's paying attention to anybody. Priscilla was still talking, yeah.
Can I ask that there be no more interruptions when people are giving their comments?
Can
I ask Mr. Banonis gave his presentation without interruption from any of the ladies he claims are so disruptive. So I would ask that he show the same courtesy to the other people who have things to say, and also to Mr. Carochi. Are you, the two of you, going to yield, or are you going to continue to disrupt the meeting?
I have a solution, and Priscilla's going the solution.
Are you going to yield, or are you going to continue to disrupt the meeting?
I'm not going to say anything to you.
Okay, good. Mr. Carochi, are you going to stop talking so that you can go one at a time? Because you are listening. So I have to speak louder.
I'm not your child. Don't yell at me.
So, Mr. Carochi, are you gonna yield so we have one person go at a time?
Sure.
Okay, I think he said sure. So the two of them have now agreed that they're going to follow basic decorum and let one person speak at a
I don't
time.
agree to anything that you say.
Okay,
I never will.
Could you put up the DEP report from July 11th on page 15, please? So everybody can see I'm not making this up. And it does talk about odors, but I'm not talking about that now. And it says on there, middle of the page,
Get on top of Priscilla.
approximately
It's vultures, not
20
odors.
vultures, and it goes on, and it talks about the notes, and you just have to remember that the vultures are attracted to food, and the landfill is a big dish. And if it's not properly covered on a daily basis, which is why the violations are still pending, and I don't know, that's just my opinion. So you can read the report. It's on the township's website. And I guess my only comment would be to urge the residents, like I said before, to take pictures and file their complaint with DEP.
Take pictures, file a complaint, but don't address the problem with the vulture effigy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Priscilla.
and just making the vulture conflict, the reason they are not in his park right now is because we do have a landfill for vultures to live at. And again, they're federally protected. And then what do these three want to do? They want to prevent expansion of the landfill. The vultures will not have a home. They will be at our park. They will be at people's houses. And, you know, they're making the problem worse. They're exasperating any type of problem.
We had the garbage.
And the poor vultures are the ones who will suffer.
Okay, Victoria, do you have comment?
Yeah, I do. What I have observed is a course of conduct since 2022 that both Mr. Banonis and Mr. Carochi seem to make light of the fact that we have a real issue in our township where a third, maybe half of our township residents are inundated with various different nuisances that are either start at the landfill or exacerbated by the things that go on at the landfill. And they continue to try to portray it and insult the people that come before our township and talk. They want to say this is made up by Priscilla, this is Priscilla's thing, that people are just making things up. But I was there in February of 2023 when there was a conditional use hearing with over 80 people who asked for standing, not just people who wanted to comment, but people who asked for standing because of the issues at the landfill. Not just residents, but organizations, large organizations and nonprofits that had anything to do with the Delaware and Lehigh National Heritage Corridor or using the trail. Not only Lower Saucon residents,
not taxpayers.
Yeah, lots of residents. There were 80.
They were not residents, not taxpayers.
There were 80 residents that were granted.
Everyone who's
Are
not
you going to
residents
speak
are
over me again? We don't want to. There's no line. Okay.
You're lying.
So we're going to have a motion after this one about that.
You're lying.
But when you look at the record, there were 80 people granted party status, and in addition to that, the landfill conceded halfway through the day that the entire village of Steel City, which encompasses 250 homes, would be automatically granted party status by de facto. So we're not talking about just Priscilla or me. I was elected to represent the residents. I was not paid. I didn't receive any money. My parents didn't receive any money. Nobody gets any money for protecting the residents. What I saw is that we had a landfill, a multi-billion-dollar company who makes money off of out-of-state garbage dumping in our township at the expense of the health, safety, and welfare of our residents. And I saw a majority of council that decided that instead of representing those residents, they intended to make fun of them. So not only did they play games when they were the majority, but obviously today we see games more, where they're insulting people. And I also find even more insulting that there are members in the public here tonight that are running for council that are also making light of this by laughing and encouraging these minority members of council to parade around like it's a circus. So if they think that that's a great way to represent the constituents, all of the constituents, not just the people they think represent them, then maybe we need to make sure we have a camera turned the other way so they can see the behavior of people who are running for council right now. But aside from that, I thought it most important that the landfill itself likes to portray itself that it's complying with the DEP, that it does everything the DEP says, and it has multiple times said that these vultures have nothing to do with them. And in fact, the Morning Car article that was published this morning even references a statement by the representative of the landfill, who discusses what, in fact, the landfill has to do with vultures. And despite the fact that they claim there's no relation to the landfill, we have a continued, repeated discussion by the Department of Environmental Protection that goes over the vultures at the landfill. So at the last landfill committee meeting, Ms. Garber, who gets paid an hourly rate to advocate and promote what helps the landfill, she in fact just starts talking about vultures. But more importantly, we have our landfill inspector who goes over the DEP reports from February, March, April, May, June, the last quarter before July. And he notes that we have multiple times in which vultures were observed. He notes June 1st, there were 6 vultures observed on the working face of the landfill. June 18th, 16 vultures on the working face. And then, now we have the July 11th DEP report, which the landfill knew about, because they obviously go on the landfill, they speak with the landfill, and that report highlights 20 vultures. And if there was no connection to the landfill, if the landfill had no reason to be worried about this, I don't know why the DEP says BLC should note vultures observed off-site in the daily odor controls and consider off-site harassment methods. So if the landfill is supposed to consider off-site harassment methods, I don't know how they can publicly portray themselves as an organization that doesn't have anything to do with the vultures. And I find it really troubling that they continue to repeatedly say to the public that they have nothing to do with the vultures, when in fact they do. I think it's important also, when we're talking about misstatements, is the last council meeting, there was an issue Mr. Banonis again put on, a landfill DEP report from the DEP that highlighted no violations, no violations. The body of that DEP report highlighted multiple continuing and outstanding violations. So we actually took a recess, and I was walking through the audience, and an audience member who's here tonight said to me, Victoria, you know, we had somebody who's running for council, she called the landfill to find out what the problem was with this. And they said that that's a typo, what you're looking at is a typo, and there are no violations, there are no violations. And I said, well, I'm just reading the DEP report, and clearly on the bottom, it highlights the fact that there are outstanding violations. So I think if you can first, Stacy, look at minute 28, 25 seconds of the DEP, of our landfill committee meeting.
28, 25?
Yes. And I'll note for the record that the same people running for council are saying it's ridiculous to highlight the inaccuracies of what the landfill tells people in the public and what the DEP reports.
Hello, I'm not running. Since you addressed me directly, I'm not running.
Can you play it?
And I think it's ridiculous for the record.
Victoria, get your facts straight.
Can you please play? I would appreciate that people running for office don't interrupt in the middle of the meeting.
Well, nobody said it's ridiculous. I didn't say it, neither did Doug. Get your facts straight. You want to misrepresent things all the time.
Okay, we're disrupting for the
correct her. You always want to correct her.
We have
Victoria, you're upsetting the bird.
that can't keep their mouths shut.
Stop upsetting the bird.
Here we go. So can we please play 28 to 25?
You're upsetting my bird, Victoria. Stop yelling, please.
Stop yelling at the wall.
EP inspection report was on.
Can you turn the volume up?
Let's give people running for office a chance to respond to Victoria's accusation. Don't limit their public comments. Don't limit their public comments.
Public comment right now.
We're really off topic.
We're
Get control of the meeting. Get control
control the meeting. The meeting's about
Stop interrupting and put your toy away. Put your toy away,
June's 3rd DEP inspection report was on the agenda, and I had a lot of comments regarding it. And I called Amy Falch this morning, and she responded in an email, which I'll read. It's also CC'd to Roger Bellis and Rachel Miller and Astor. Priscilla had recently inquired about the line item determinations and the comments for line items number 17, 18, 22, and 52 in the June 3rd, 2025 inspection report. This was my error when choosing the line item determinations when I drafted this report. Line item number 17, 18, 22, and 52 should all be designated as not determined, meaning that the previously issued violations are still outstanding. However, there were no new violations determined during this June 3rd report. The comments for all of these line items are accurate regarding the issuance of the respective NOVs, BLC's responses, and that the violations remain outstanding. I noticed this as well for the May 12, 2025 inspection report for line items 22 and 52. Similar to my discussion above, these line items should be designated as not determined. However, the comments for all of these line items are correct in the report. I apologize for the errors on this inspection report. So I guess the reason for having this on the agenda last night was to say that.
So I want to reiterate to the audience members that are here, or maybe not here, who made that comment that the landfill told them that this in fact was the township's error and they didn't have any violations, because when somebody responsibly goes to the DEP to get the factual information, it's a completely different story than whatever is portrayed from the landfill. And I find it extremely troubling that in the case of vultures, in the case of vultures, we have a statement from Amanda Moley, a spokesperson for the landfill, who provided a statement to the Morning Call, which is anybody can look up on their website. Molly said vultures are protected under federal law, and the landfill adheres to the DEP-approved control plan. It also conducts daily inspections to monitor bird activity with no issues found. That's Molly's statement. How do you ever say that there are no issues found when the DEP report from July 11th notes 20 vultures on your working face because you can't cover it? So whenever you hear somebody who's paid an hourly rate and from a multi-billion-dollar company telling the township what's best for them or what we're going to do for you to help you out, remember that they can't even keep their facts straight when it comes to the DEP. And I find it even more troubling that we have elected officials up here that want to just believe everything that comes out of a paid spokesperson's mouth, that comes from somebody who works for a multi-billion-dollar company. We're here for the residents. The residents expect us to protect them, not to make fun of them, not to buy stupid Halloween things and insult their intelligence. And I'm sorry to the residents that this is what happened to you. So I'm ready for a roll call on this ridiculous motion.
I have one more comment to make first.
Okay, that's fine.
Tom, you can go get two.
I think, but I'm going to have another motion after this, Laura, because I think because of the statement that it's all made up, you have to deal with that.
I just want to say that today's Morning Call article that was published on the website and on their print paper, they had to do it over 3 times, and the correct version of it is around 11 a.m. So it is correct at 11 around 11.
Oh, so you got in touch with them to fix the article. Okay, Priscilla.
Yes,
I did. There you go. The propaganda machine works. There's the propaganda machine. The job telling you how to into your homework.
Will you be quiet? It's not your turn to talk.
Priscilla's upset that you attributed the culture refugees to her.
The Democrats wanted up to right.
Okay, that's enough. We're having a roll call.
If you send an email, Priscilla, that right to know is going to be interesting to read.
Doing a roll call.
Yeah. She won't throw that one.
Mr. Carucci.
What about, so are we going to?
There's a roll call.
We have a motion, we're we're doing a roll call on it
Tom,
right
you didn't
now.
speak
He's been
yet.
talking the whole time.
He did not get a chance to speak. Tom, you get a chance to speak.
He spoke a lot. Never stops
We need to
talking.
vote on the motion that Jason made.
Are we doing a roll
Because we
call?
haven't voted on that
Yeah,
motion.
so I'm trying to do a roll
You
call.
have an opportunity to speak, Tom. That's saving the
What's the
vultures.
roll call?
Pardon?
Well, I mean, I think not only should we pass this motion, but we should also, consider encouraging the landfill to take care and to house these folks. They're trying to protect.
You're ridiculous. Let's have a roll call.
Mr.
Where will
Caroci?
they go?
Mr. Caroci?
It'd be like Finding Nemo, or Simba finding him. Where are the folks to go?
We're having
Yes.
a roll call.
I vote yes.
Ms. De Leon?
No.
Ms. Ray?
No.
Mr. Banonis?
Yes.
Ms. Saucon Township?
It's an insult to our residents, no.
Motion.
It's a solution to your problem.
So,
And what
I'm
is your,
gonna
what
make
is
a
your
motion.
solution?
What
What
is
is
I'm
your
gonna make a
solution?
motion now, if I can be recognized, I'm gonna make a motion.
Tom, will you be
I motion for
quiet?
the fat head
Laura, can
scarecrow.
I please be recognized for a motion?
Okay, Victoria's gonna make
Now
a
you
motion.
recognize.
My
the
motion
I
is
agree
that
with
the
you.
township acquire the transcript for the conditional use hearing, specifically the days only that involved the, when they did standing, there were like 3 days or 4 days in which the adjudicator first determined whether there was standing. The hearings went on for a number of days, but I only want the transcripts that revolved around standing. And the standing involves all of the residents and members of our township who came forward and asked to be involved in the landfill expansion. And we need to get that transcript so people can see, instead of listening to false information spewed around all the time,
Your mouth.
that we have a lot of people concerned about this. And not only do I want to purchase that transcript just those days, but also I want to have it on the website so everybody can see all of the complaints that occurred.
Put it on the agenda.
I just need
It's
to
not
go
agenda.
public agenda.
Violation of
It's on
Sunshine
public
Act, you
agenda.
advance it.
This is
that-
on topic at all.
Hi, my name
So
is
that's my
Amanda
motion.
Wetzel. I'm here representing
This is an agenda.
Okay, we have some input here from the solicitor.
Yeah,
and
before we go any further, if we're gonna do
we have a
that,
public comment right now.
if we're gonna do that, it should be on an agenda because it is,
Correct.
use of funds.
That's what I
Everybody,
said.
please stop talking.
What are we paying you
Stop
$200
talking.
an hour
Stop
to be
talking.
a day late $1
Stop
short?
talking, you're still talking, you're not helping.
Yes, he is.
It should not be on,
I'm
it
helping.
I'm always
should
helping,
not,
Susie. I'm
should
always.
not be on this agenda because it's not properly there.
My
If
middle
we're gonna
name
make
is
that
Tom.
motion-
Sunshine Act
That's fine, it'll be on the next
I got your
one.
list.
We have a basis to order it, since there's continued accusations that people don't report problems, and this is all made up. And I remember for a fact that there were large pictures of vultures displayed at that conditional use hearing.
I need
That was
to
your
object to this motion being made into a vote taking place.
No, it's not public comment, so you can't come up to
I
speak
can
on
preserve
it.
the record and make an objection. My name is Amanda Wetzel and I represent the Bethlehem landfill. I'm standing in for Mary Ann Garber, who is not available to attend tonight's meeting.
Point of order, Laura.
Bethlehem landfill objects to this
Keep talking.
motion because the
Keep
matter
talking, I recognize you.
There is no motion, it's on the next
Okay,
agenda.
we're not having
made
this
the
motion, so.
Yes,
You
and
just
he
made
just,
the motion.
he just said that it has to be on the next
And
agenda.
nobody seconded it, and we didn't make a roll call, we're not handling this motion.
I make a motion to recognize you.
I second it.
Okay, Tom,
Comments you have to be
I motion to recognize you.
meeting.
Clowns.
no.
This is what township
Okay, we were
respect.
wrapped up
They
with
want to
this
cut
topic,
people off.
which went
These
nowhere. and
Democratic
shouldn't
majority, they don't want any
have been
10%.
on. We're on item
Why should it
5H.
be on? Because I requested it? Is that why? Because you
The
don't like a
way you
difficult
worded
topic?
it was totally inappropriate
She's
and
the one that complained
inaccurate
about
and
it.
misleading.
She's the one that complained about it.
Okay, there's a
Priscilla
lot of
Leon's
people
complaints
that
of
have
vultures.
complaints about
It
the
was her
vultures.
complaint.
There
She's
were
the one
a
who
lot.
complained at the council
Will
meeting.
you stop
There's
yelling
nothing
at
dishonest.
me? You do not have the
There's
floor.
nothing
And
dishonest
we
about
are
my
on
statement.
item 5H.
So
We're
retract your
going to
statement.
discuss and
Retract your
possible
statement.
action on
Apologize to
whether
me.
to continue to expend
You are
time
dumb as
and
a box of
resources on the rail trail sign. This again is an item requested by Jason Banonis.
Recognize the attorney.
Yeah, so I requested this. Jay, you brought to our attention that the township has now repeatedly paid for a sign that is repeatedly being vandalized on the rail trail. And the sign pertains to private property. I think it's foolish of the township to continue to invest money into a sign that continues to be vandalized. It's a waste of taxpayer money. If the resident and taxpayer whose property is of historic nature wants to put a sign on his personal property at his cost and expense, he can do that. I don't see why the township should continue to incur the expense of this. This is an attractive nuisance. There are individuals or an individual who continues to vandalize this. So why would we continue to pay for something that continues to be destroyed? It seems to be a pointless waste of money. Sure, there's a historic property there, but do we put up signs for every historic property in the township, Jay? Can you identify for me any other privately owned historic properties in the township? I'm not talking about the Litz Franklin Schoolhouse. I'm not talking about the Heller Homestead. I'm not talking about those historic properties that are owned by the township. This is private property that has a historic sign adjacent to it on a trail, a rail trail. We don't have any others, do we?
I wouldn't really know at this point.
So why is this a unique property? My question is, and I'm asking this hypothetically, Jay, because you probably wouldn't know the answer to this, but why is this property worthy of having a township-paid sign that continues to be destroyed by vandals, and we continue to put it up at our taxpayer cost and expense? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. So my proposal here is to not replace the sign that is on the rail trail and to take the sign down. The property has been recognized. The property owner can put his own signs up and his own placards and do whatever he wants to do. But why should we continue to allow our taxpayer money to be wasted on signs that are going to be vandalized? And how many times has the sign been vandalized, Jay, and how far apart has it been vandalized? You know?
I believe it's happened twice, and it's
Within a year or two of each other, right?
within a month or two.
A month or two. So every month we're going to be paying to put up a sign that vandals are going to come along and tear down and destroy. I'm not diminishing the historical value of the property, or the historical nature of the property, but what I'm saying is don't put a sign up that's going to be vandalized and don't continue to pay for it. So I'm making a motion to not put up a sign and to take down whatever remaining pieces of that sign structure existed, to fill in the holes and to return it back to its virgin state so that the rail trail can be used as it is, and that this area will no longer be vandalized or attract people at hours to create vandalism and other criminal behavior. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Thank you, Tom.
And, I agree that if the homeowner wants a sign, put it on his private property and let him maintain it, and that's, I guess, protect it. I mean, I don't know. And I will say, again, I don't have high hopes for this motion because the property owner is a supporter of these Democrats and they'll support him. It's like the Russ Sutton thing over again. The corruption and the political favors no end, whether it's Victoria protecting the landfill or going out to the landfill to protect her parents' property.
He's an anti-baseball field person.
Okay, we're not talking about the sign.
But it's just more democratic, political corruption. But the homeowner can put it on the where does the police investigation stand on this? About vandalism. Right. Why can't you put a word out there? I'm sure if it's kids, they'll turn on each other quickly.
I'd rather have our police resources devoted to protecting break-ins and robberies and speeders and things like that than worrying about a sign that's announcing someone's private property. I think that's a better use of our police resources and investigation.
Okay.
Oh, I agree.
Did you have a comment, Jerry?
No, I didn't.
No, on the police? Okay.
I wouldn't have privy to an ongoing police investigation.
Okay.
All right. Laura, can you recognize?
Yes.
Thanks. Jay, do you have the information about when this particular sign was installed in the township?
Originally?
Yes, the original sign, when it was put on the rail trail. Do you know that?
2020.
I heard someone yell 2020 and I have to believe it. I wasn't here.
Okay.
During COVID.
I want to believe it.
To be believed.
And so I understand the sign is owned by the township?
Correct.
It's on the rail trip.
Okay. So
She doesn't walk.
for
She doesn't walk.
everybody to know here, this particular sign isn't just a sign that's vandalized. It's a sign that was vandalized with anti-Semitic spray paint. So I think that at this point in time, when we have 2 council members saying that we don't want to spend taxpayer dollars to eradicate anti-Semitic, racist stuff that happens in our township, they don't want our cops to go and get rid of that. I think that people need to see the sign.
You've gone to a whole new level, you fat pig. You disgusting person. You are the most disgusting person to accuse me of being an anti-Semite. Go to hell, you dumb ass.
I said the sign displays anti-Semitic rhetoric. The sign displays anti-Semitic rhetoric. And for any council member to say that we're going to roll over in our township and not have our police go seek out people who decide to spray paint this on our property, he doesn't want to spend our resources to find this. He doesn't think it's important enough.
Shut up.
It's extremely important, and I hope everybody sees this and knows that 2 council members voted to not fund and not have our police and not pay for the replacement of anti-Semitic spray paint vandalism on our township property. That's what he doesn't want to pay for.
You are a disgusting pig and a liar. To say that I'm an anti-Semite is a complete lie.
Your motion.
That defamation lawsuit will never end until I own your house.
The sign displays anti-Semitic rhetoric. Anybody can play back. Nobody called you anti-Semitic.
You are.
But the fact,
You're saying I'm promoting it. You disgusting, ignorant person.
You don't want to go after the people who did this.
You open your mouth and lie.
You just said you didn't want the police to go out and pay for this. You didn't want to spend our taxpayer dollars to find the people who did this.
Looking at other things.
Exactly. There you go.
Stop touching my things.
Oh, you just not doing it
I didn't
yourself.
touch it. You did. You disgusting pig.
You fucking pig. Listen.
Okay, you know what? You need to watch your language and stop.
How about you tell her not to call me an anti-Semite, dumbass? Why don't you start there?
Why don't you
start there? Get control of me and get control of your colleagues.
Okay.
Calling me an anti-Semite? Go to hell, you.
Nobody has called you an anti-Semite.
You sure did, you pig.
Maybe you interpreted it that way.
It's all recorded, she did not.
You're saying that I'm promoting anti-Semitism is what you said.
You don't want the police to go find it.
Fuck
You don't want to pay for the sign replacement.
Go tell the judge that.
You don't want to pay for the sign replacement, and you don't want to spend taxpayer dollars to find the people who did it. So you all can decide what you think is intended.
How did you say that?
Oh my God.
Get control of your meeting. This is ridiculous.
So just destroy township property.
Shut the fuck up.
No.
You're going to promote her calling me an anti-Semite?
Nobody called you that.
Yeah, you did.
Nobody called you that.
Yes, you did.
You implied that because you put it on the agenda to
You'll be
not
hearing
pay
from my
for the
lawyer. Thank you.
replacement.
Good night. You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Good luck with that one. It's
Yep.
the same where you got last
Actual
time.
amount, yeah. It's ongoing,
It's
dumbass.
the same where you got last time.
Ongoing.
Nowhere.
Yeah. Thanks for the settlement offers, too.
Nowhere. I didn't
Declined.
offer you any settlement
Yeah,
offers.
you
You
did.
asked for one yourself.
Yeah, thanks.
You asked for one yourself. Let's
Yep.
look at the record on that one.
Dishonest dick.
I should have fired that fucking lawyer and did my own
Put that on the
case.
agenda. Disgusting. If you don't like it, you shouldn't have put it there.
Shut your fat, ignorant mouth.
Fuck you, asshole.
Is anybody going to say anything about
Is
the
anybody gonna stop this
Right.
yelling out and cursing from the
I'm just
back?
saying.
He started it.
Only when we do it.
We're still in recess, so everyone knows. Oh, she's bitched at me before. Problem is, nobody wants to listen to the truth. Nobody can deal with the truth. Everybody wants their own side.
She's over here saying all kinds of stuff and put her own spin on it. Nobody said they want to have that stuff there. But at the end of the day, stop
Well, she never called him an anti-Semite or whatever it is.
Nothing to do
No,
with
she
it.
did. What she's saying is basically saying it's okay with it. And it's not what he said.
She did
It's
not
all
call
what
him
he
that.
said. Give him a break.
Replacing the sign has nothing to do with the crime that occurred.
It's the same thing when Anne Marie said something and she says, oh, I was one that said it was ridiculous. No, get your facts straight. And you want to say, you want to sit there and say, oh, I'm correcting it. I want to be corrected. I want to correct it. No, you're not.
It's all propaganda.
And will she correct herself and say she was wrong? Absolutely not.
Nope. All propaganda. Don't put anybody in jail, but complain about a sign.
Better watch out because now you're sounding like you're an anti-Semite too.
If it's up to me, I say we just do away with council, we do away with zoning, we do away with all of this stuff. Let the cops do their job, and everybody lives in their town and does what they want, and it's your property, you pay your taxes, and screw all this nonsense.
You have a lot more of that landfill you don't like, though, if that were the case. The only thing protecting you from that is zoning and township council.
Nobody can do anything in this township. Just forget it. All business.
Whether they're effective or not at that job is up for debate, but those are the institutions in place that are supposed to protect residents' interests and balance commercial development with residents' best interests.
Yeah, I know that.
So are we in recess?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't hear exactly what was going on.
Like I said at the last meeting, he was a piece of shit when he came in, he'll be a piece of shit when he leaves.
And she looks exactly the same.
With one side.
I'm like, yeah, that's where I remember. I'm like, oh my god, what a.
No, I don't think it's all sides, to be honest.
Like, no idea. Somebody, if they see a picture from. There's a picture of Roslyn somewhere, there was a stroller there too.
That's a fact all over the country.
There was
That is a
a
fact.
picture like that, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
We found the
I can't tell you what I
that
did for
destroys the sign.
but I can tell you that his name that I haven't seen in
Probably
years.
not. Probably not. But she was talking about the
Oh, come on, get this over with so I can go home.
Or at least for 50s there that are so she blended your stuff on your part.
She cares about the sign. You're on crime. She wants the sign to be put back up. She doesn't do it with the sign.
We should say about the person. We never made him done this. It's over the concern.
Everybody signs up.
Well, the sign is.
I've made it. Why don't we have to put the sign back up? Because somebody else did it.
The whole part is.
That's why I brought up the responsibility. I don't know, are we?
Well, that's what we should.
Well, you should ask her. But guess what? You can't ask her. Because you're not allowed public comment. Okay? So if you yell from the back, forget it's all been quiet. She can do whatever she wants. 2 months. And you cannot refute her. That is where we're at with this township. You know what that's called?
Listen, I have been to many meetings. I think it's bad on all sides. I think we should.
Was there anything? Well, it was wet, so I didn't get it. Yeah, it's right there.
Okay. You know how to act. So,
Well, you can't ask professionals for themselves. If they'll lie, she can steal. That's what they do.
We have decent people in this township, educated people, decent people, and willing to step up.
Yeah.
A fresh start was great. I would be all for it. The 3 other candidates, 3 other ones that are out there are still here. Can't kick them out. It's never crazy. I think. No, it's 3 more years. Or 7%. Yeah, we have.
I was like, I usually try to write down initials and processes.
No, that, they were right. Well, then the second time that was, I didn't realize that was just a new trend. But, oh my God.
Oh, it's like, you know, up there you have a hard time hearing.
Mr. Croce, you still there?
And that's what you you can't hear us.
You can call.
But you're still there, when we go back home.
I'm on the empty side.
You know, by the time she's here,
So were you here for the fire meeting?
No, I unfortunately wasn't.
I didn't know about it, I missed it. I didn't know about it till the next day when I went through my emails.
It sounds, from what I heard from people, it sounds like they were kind of just still figuring it out. I don't think either of the public liaisons had members of the public at large. I believe that prior commitments, so either of them were able to make it.
Mr. Carochi, you there?
Trish told me she thought there was like 25 people.
So the time is...
I haven't been able to find anybody.
Tom, we didn't start a meeting again, so can you stop talking?
I'm the one that said we can have a...
Okay. I didn't even restart the meeting.
Nothing to do. I've got one to do with it.
Okay, the time is 8:57 and we'll
I'm the one that offered
call our meeting back to order. And you can stop yelling.
But if you didn't apologize, there's no way. And by the way, I didn't know that there was anti-Semitic stuff on this sign. I'll tell you where the police are. Registered Democrats in the township. The Democrats are the ones that call campuses that are anti-Semitic. Their whole party's anti-Semitic. The whole party's anti-Semitic. And you three Democrats definitely are.
We're going to take a roll call.
Now, I want an apology from Victoria. I offered a reward. And she's trying to say, I want to find out who did it.
I don't know
We're doing a reward after the motion offered.
I know that the resident offered a reward.
I'm fed up with you.
Or leave.
To say that you didn't know what was on the sign when we all received an email with the photograph.
Okay, we need to stop.
Mr. Finnegan, did you send a picture of the sign to all of council?
I would have to go back to my emails and let you know on that. I couldn't believe I did. And just, the question was asked earlier. When the sign went in, it was approved at a council meeting on 7/23/2020. Motion was made by Priscilla, seconded by Ms. Okay.
Nobody has a problem with the sign.
5-0.
Nobody has a problem with the sign. People have a problem.
Who was the second?
Doesn't matter.
Where it was vandals.
Doesn't matter.
And it passed 5 in 2020.
Victoria, you're in the city.
Okay.
Hey, Matt.
I don't know. He doesn't.
Let's get a see. You gonna apologize? You lying sack of shit?
Okay, will you stop? We have your roll call.
If you apologize.
On the motion.
What?
This is a motion, just to be clear, this is a motion to not, this is Mr. Banonis'S motion to not spend time or resources on the rail trail.
On the sign.
On the sign, I'm sorry, on the rail trail sign.
Ms. DeLeon?
No.
Ms. Wright?
No.
Mr. Banonis, just for the record, left the meeting. Ms. Alcantara?
No.
Mr. Carochi?
If the motion is as Steve said, then no, and not to spend resources on it.
No. If the motion, Mr. Banonis'S motion that you seconded was to not.
Why don't you let Mr. Banonis?
Listen to me. The motion was to not spend money on it. There's 3 no votes. You seconded the motion.
I'm fine with spending money on it, but you can put it under private property.
So is your vote yes or no?
That was the motion.
Is your vote yes or no?
No, you're not stating the motion, actually.
The motion was not to replace the sign or spend any more money on it.
To relocate the sign to the private property.
No.
That wasn't the motion.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
That was.
It was not to
I'm
replace
sure
the
the
sign,
YouTube will speak for
spend any
itself.
township resources on it.
I guess it's that abstain.
I'm fine with replacing the sign, so I guess no, but it can be on private property.
Okay.
So we need a new motion.
No, we don't. No. We're doing the motion that we had. No.
Okay.
So the motion.
The motion is.
You don't even know what the hell we're doing on.
Negative. You worded it negatively, which just makes it difficult.
Motion passes 4-0, 1 absence.
No, the motion fails.
Right.
It said no. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, motion failed 4-0 and one yes, sorry. 1 absence.
Right.
1 absent.
We have a split, but it doesn't have a state of motion.
Okay, are we done with this topic?
So in the meantime, the township is spending money and doing this, correct?
Gee, Christ, you don't even know what you voted.
I do, Tom, just shut up, too.
Was it clean?
You don't understand what you voted.
All right, 5I. Resolution 59-2025, boards and committee appointments.
So if I can help on this one.
Steve, discuss this.
Yes. The township did not have a formal resolution as to any steps with regard to the removal of an individual from an authority or a committee or a board. So with the input from staff, we drafted the resolution that's before you, which essentially sets up a more formal process in which the respective authorities and committees and so on can move towards the removal of an individual. And that's what it sets forth. There was a concern that, as written, there's a reference that the Township Council can remove individuals at its sole discretion. I want to clarify that a little bit, and perhaps we can change the resolution language to address any issues. The rule under law is if it's an advisory body, you serve at the whim of Township Council. But if it is one that has a formal set of terms, such as the Zoning Hearing Board and the Planning Commission, which has by statute a reference, then you can only remove someone for malfeasance, misfeasance, or nonfeasance, meaning doing something wrong along those lines. So what I would propose, if inclined, would be to pass the resolution, but add in after the language where it says in its sole discretion, add the language subject to applicable law, which means that of course the township would have to follow any rules with regard to, in particular, zoning hearing board members and planning commission members. It's inferred, but I thought it made sense to put it in as is.
No.
So if someone wants to make that motion, you can.
Okay, do we need to refer to the specific law or section or anything?
No, I would not do that because that might change over time.
Okay. All right, so I would make the motion to adopt Resolution 59-2025 with the additional language inserted, subject to applicable law. And this is to establish a formal policy to appoint and remove volunteer members. Do I have a second?
So but
wait till we have a second, Tom, and then Tom, wait till we have a second.
Hurry up. Guys, it's not out of our opinion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
It's cheap.
All right, Tom, go ahead.
Now, the removal is done by council. Is there a recommendation from the board? Let's say it's DEA.
I didn't understand what he said.
Mr. Croce, I can answer that. The resolution contains a stipulation that the respective authority, committee, board, or commission can either do it by action of a vote or by a formal resolution, and then that action by the authority, committee, board, or commission then would come to council for action. So
Right. Go ahead.
So it has to be a formal action by another body to get it to this body.
Right. But they can only recommend.
Correct.
All right, as long as we're clear on. All right.
All right, any other discussion? Okay, can we have a roll call?
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Cordero?
There's like a feedback with squeaking, but I'm voting yes, and I'm sorry I didn't say during the discussion. I just want to add that we've had two separate instances from two separate boards that have come to council asking to remove members of their board for non-attendance and things like that. And so I think it's important that we clarify how and when that can happen. So that's why I second it.
Mr. Carochi?
No, it's just another way for these three Democrats to get people who have opposed views from serving on our Parks and Rec, our EAC, and other committees and boards. They're anti-democratic, and they don't want any transparency. They don't want any opposing views. So you saw how they treat us.
Ms. De Leon?
We're voting on the, yes. I'm getting my piles confused.
You know where you are.
I'm getting my piles confused.
Motion passes 3-1 and 1 absent.
Okay, Tom, stop the comments. We're on item 5J, approval of special event application of Let's Franklin Schoolhouse for their Apple Fest. I'll make the motion to approve the event application for Lower Saucon Township Historical Society to be held at Let's Franklin Schoolhouse on October 11th, 2025. Do I have a second?
Second.
Not sure who that was. Oh. All right. I mean, this is an annual event. It's a great event, and fully support it. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to know, just, we could find out, not tonight, but we could find out what is the mile distance of the Let's Franklin Schoolhouse to the Tank Farm parcel?
What's the distance from to where?
The distance, like when you can drop a pin at the corner of the Tank Farm parcel to the Let's Franklin Schoolhouse parcel. We don't need it now, I just want it for the future.
If you have any IQ whatsoever, you can do that on your phone.
All right. Can we have a roll call?
Can you do that on your phone? Just prove us you can do it.
Ms. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yeah.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Benonis absent.
Okay, 5K is consideration of funding request for Hellertown Halloween Parade and participation. In the past, we've donated a $1,000 donation to the parade and $100 to the water and hot dogs that they distribute after the event. And I would move to provide the same support again this year.
Second.
Only on the condition that the three Democratic members go to the parade in costume with masks. We can't spare these children, even if you wasn't sure.
Okay.
I just have a comment. Last year, we asked our township staff to use the township trucks and things in the parade. In years past, sometimes we've gotten a donation from a local business for like a fancy car or something to put in the parade. But I'd like, if we could continue what we did last year, where we used, last year they picked a public works truck and we had one of our public works guys there. I just think it's really nice to thank them and have them participate and show the township, people who are at the parade, what things we do. And so I don't really care what municipal truck we use or whatever, but I hope that we can continue that. And yeah.
if you won't wear a mask, and you'll just shave your mustache.
Tom, you're not making any constructive comments. Priscilla, do you have any comment on this?
I don't support it.
Okay, I do as well. Can we have a roll call?
Mr. Carochi?
Well, even though my conditions weren't bad, I'll still vote yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Cordero?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Mr. Benonis absent.
I apologize.
The donation, but do we have to do the registration separately? Or do we need a motion for?
Staff will take care of that.
What?
Staff will take care of filling in the paperwork.
All right, item 5L is the actuarial study. Council will consider having actuarial studies done on numerous items in the uniform and non-uniform pension plans. I think Steve or Jay may talk about this one a little bit.
Sure. Well, I can't be really specific because it has to do with contract negotiation, but there's certain items that we need to review in anticipation of the upcoming contract renewals. That's why it's nondescript as possible to not disclose information related to a contract.
Okay. So I will make the motion to authorize Township Manager and Finance Director to engage the actuarial Chuck Friedlander to perform a study on numerous items in the uniform and non-uniform pension plans not to exceed $12,000. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Do we have any discussion? Can we have a roll call?
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0, 1 absent.
I'm going to get my notes out for this one. So the next item is 6A, approval of the July 16th, 2025 council minutes. I did have a couple corrections. So if anybody else has corrections, they can go first. I gotta bring mine up quick here. If not, I had sent these over to Stacy yesterday, I believe. They were very minor. So page 1, line 23, there's just a typo. Meet should be met. Page 15, line 16, remove the word status. And again, the same thing, page 15, line 19, remove the word status. And then page 17, line 20, BSEGS was spelled B-S-E-G-S, like it was a two-word thing. It's really an acronym, which is B-C-E-G-S. And then if they want to clarify what exactly that is, it's Building Code Effectiveness Classification. So those were my corrections. So I would make a motion to approve the minutes with the minor corrections.
Second.
All right, can we have a roll call?
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
No, they're inaccurate.
Okay, and as I said last time, if you're going to say they're inaccurate, please provide what the corrections are.
Motion passes 3-1, 1 absent.
All right. Gotcha. Okay, next item is to approve the June and July 2025 financial reports. Do we need to separate them for any reason?
they could be done as a package.
Yeah, I just, in case anybody had any correction on one or the other, we could separate, but, okay. Not hearing that, I'll make a motion to approve the June and July 2025 financial reports.
A second.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Octave Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carucci?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0, 1 absent.
Okay, now we're at council and staff reports. We'll start with Jay for manager.
Thank you. Just an update, as noted at the last meeting, the township website was updated and made a public announcement on August 14th. And we're continuing to accept photos for submission to be included in the new website, and the ability to submit those are on the community tab. National Night Out was on Tuesday, August 6th. In my opinion, it was a great night. And I'd like to thank Chief Bart and all the employees, staff of the police department, the township employees that were there, and all the vendors that partook. I can tell you that the highlight of the evening was the tug of war between the police and the children, and then the balloon fight between the police and the children. There was not a dry person left in that balloon fight. We continue to advertise on the website the need for additional volunteers. There's one opening on the EAC. We have one opening on Park and Recreation, and the authority has 2 openings. Council has been supplied with the financial report on the Lower Saucon Fire Rescue. The auditor that did it, same company that does the township's financials, they had no findings. The information was readily available, and in the opinion of the individual at the accounting firm that I talked to, their records and financial information is in great shape and easily accessible and understandable.
Very good.
Did they look into the transmission that was under warranty that was replaced for out of warranty?
That would not be a part of a financial report, Mr. Carucci.
So they didn't audit that?
Not part of a normal audit. And the Saucon Valley Compost Center will continue to be open every Friday and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. through November 22nd. Any questions should be directed to Hellertown Borough Hall. And we continue to have closures on Easton Road for the ongoing UGI project. That's all I have, thank you.
Jay, can I ask a question? When you ask for pictures for the website, now and then I stumble upon an oldie but goodie. Would you be interested in that?
Not your picture, Bill.
I'm talking about, I have like, I have groundbreaking, like Oak Valley Park, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Well, like that. I think.
Where you're in the picture, right, Bill? So anything to promote yourself. The township web.
Tom, stop the comment.
Feel free to submit whatever you would like, Mr. Lee.
Okay, thank you.
Even nude pictures?
I just had one small request. I know we have a number of openings for different boards, and I was looking on our township homepage, and I don't know if there's a way we can display on the homepage that little tickle about requests, unless I'm missing it. It might be under a couple pages, but I know we've been sending it out via social media, but I think if it was one of the first things you see when you open the website under current updates, maybe that little block might be a good spot for it. And I know in order for anybody to apply, there's a form for volunteers to complete. So when we display the notification about the different boards being open, if they could have a direct link to that form. Somebody was talking to me yesterday, and I was trying to find the form, and I ended up having to search for documents to find it. So that if we could do that, that would be, I think, helpful. Okay, with the link to the form that people have to complete. Thank you.
Yeah. You have to make it idiot-proof for her. You couldn't thing the distance
Right.
between the
Tom,
schoolhouse and the water.
Your remarks aren't needed. Jay, are you still, have more to report?
I'm all done, thank you.
Okay. And we'll move on to council reports. Tom, do you want to go first, since you have so much to say?
Yeah, thanks. I do want to thank the, I was unable to attend the national night out town for work, something the three Democrats don't know anything about. But I do want to thank the police, the fire, the service, the township employees for putting on a great night. I know a lot of the kids in the township look forward to that every year. And then what I heard the state contract expired. I want to make a motion to hire Jay full time.
Here, here.
Our salary of $150,000. You need more, Jay? 175. You got it.
Too much.
All right. I know you want to say. I know you want to.
Thank you. I'm flattered, but that's not what I'm looking forward to.
I know you don't want to work. You don't want to work with these three. I understand.
For the record, I would have seconded that.
These three they want to talk about everything. They're so incompetent they can't hire a township manager on a permanent basis.
Next.
Okay. Is that the end of your report?
Yeah, but I'll always kind of.
Okay, Priscilla?
Yes, hi. Let's see, I attended the,
Hi, you've been there for 4 hours. Just hi.
I attended the August 4th Parks and Rec Board meeting, the July 22nd HOW meeting, the 7/17 landfill quarterly meeting, the 7/21 historic committee meeting, the 8/4 Parks and Rec Board, no, I already said that one. Sorry, it was duplicate. And I just want to make
you gotta get some medication price for that.
some of this, I like to go on the record and have the record reflect that I have issues with some of the statements made by Ms. Louder as being accurate regarding the Swint property. And I also like to read in the record a memo from Jessica O'Donnell Gower from the Hellertown Lower Saucon Chamber, because there was questions raised on their role in the community. Who we are in the Greater Lehigh Valley Chamber of Commerce, and specifically the Hellertown Lower Saucon Chamber, and the important role we play in this community. Our mission is community development, not economic development. While we are often confused with entities whose focus is business recruitment, our purpose is different. We focus on strengthening the fabric of our community by supporting local businesses with resources, visibility, and opportunities to grow, creating connections, business to business and business to community, hosting events and programs that drive community engagement, pride, and vibrancy, applying the voice of our local businesses so they feel supported and connected, both locally and across the valley. We believe that when businesses feel supported and residents feel engaged, the entire community thrives. Our work ensures that the businesses already here can flourish, and that residents feel proud to live, work, and shop locally. We are proud of the partnerships and positive impacts we've built in Hellertown and Lower Saucon, and we look forward to continuing to serve as a connector, convener, and champion for this community. At the end of the day, our work is about creating a place where businesses want to stay, families want to live, and visitors want to spend time. By uplifting our community through connection, celebration, and support, we strengthen the foundation of Hellertown and Lower Saucon for years to come. Some examples of the events that they have provided. Summer and winter restaurant weeks, locally Art Cafe, Be Social, Black River Farms, Plaza Arteca, Yanni's, they all participate. Small Business Saturdays, marketing campaign, marketing for all businesses, where we encourage businesses to support local as they kick off their holiday shopping. We host ribbon cuttings for new businesses in the community. Be Social was one of our most recent ones in the township. Taste Trail, a passport designed where people purchase and go around to different businesses that have signed up to participate. Black River Farms, Be Social, Yanni's were some of the ones this year that participated, as it was the first year. Light Up Night. This is a joint community effort where we see support from both Lower Saucon and Hellertown businesses. Even Lower Saucon Fire has supported through the years. We also give an opportunity for our local nonprofits to participate as we all community, plus the school district with their students performing, etc. Honors and hors d'oeuvres, where we honor past, present, and future of our community, honoring businesses and nonprofits both from Lower Saucon and Hellertown. In the past, we have done Paint for Purposes, raised money for our local fire companies, and have done small businesses and community roundtables with both the borough and the township manager, both police chiefs. Our relationship with Lower Saucon in the past with the manager has been strong. Anytime a new business came into the township, we would know and reach out about the opportunity to help and host a ribbon cutting and shine a spotlight on not just the business, but the community as a whole. We always extend an invite to council members too to be part of the celebration and truly any event, as we always recognize them as local leaders. I'd like to thank Jessica and Jay. I hope that clears up some of the information. And I would just like to ask, and if you could pass that on to Tyler, that when a new business comes in the community, that he should notify, or me or you, to notify the chamber so they know a new business is coming in and they can reach out to them then. So, and that's all I have for the evening. Thank you.
Jay, for clarification, just this week, we were not invited to a chamber event. You had to forward the invitation to us that came from the chamber. And that happened this week in an email. Will you agree to that?
I did forward an email. I'm not privy to what you would have received directly.
No, I didn't receive anything directly. And why would you forward it to me if I was on it? Priscilla was on the email. She was the only council member on the email. And then you forward it. So when this woman says that she always invites all members of council, that is a lie. And then Priscilla just read a letter for her with that lie in.
I misunderstood your comment.
I mean, why would you forward me the email if you acknowledge that I already have it?
Okay, this is Betty.
Again, that was a lie, what was written in that letter. And there's a perfect example of it.
Chamber's email list and you'll get the emails.
You said you invite all council members, no?
Priscilla?
It's on her.
Do you have other, or was that your?
No, it's just that I'm the liaison, so that's why I get copied on the emails, and
yeah.
she's.
And you didn't forward it either. You didn't forward it either.
You've never forwarded me anything on the library or the.
Sure, I did, all the time.
When you guys were involved.
That's when we were friends, Priscilla.
We were never friends.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next council report then, so we can get done. Victoria.
Thank you. I want to highlight, we have the rail trail meeting next Monday. It will be here at Town Hall. I know we have a zoning hearing board meeting. I think it's in Lower Saucon in August. It's usually, that's where it was last year. So, anyway, it will be here, but we also have 4 zoning hearing board meetings, but we've got it worked out, so there'll be room for everyone, zoning hearing board and rail trail. So I wanted to highlight that. Also, just a request to have everybody check out from the library what's going on. They have a lot of events, and in fact, I believe that there may be a Longwood Gardens event happening at Christmas time to fundraise for the library. So I would encourage people to do that. And then just a request from our township staff. We get a wonderful report from our appointed member of the library board who provides all the information, and there's monthly statistics about usage and that, and I think it would be very helpful if under the library services component of the website that we provide that information, especially some of the flyers about the events and things, so people from the township can get it from the library, but also can see it on the township since we're a partner in that. I had the opportunity to visit Community Day in Hellertown recently, which involved lots of organizations that service Lower Saucon Township and lots of businesses that also provide services to our residents. And during that time, it came to my attention that the Community Day used to be a joint event that Lower Saucon did in partnership with Hellertown in order to showcase both municipalities and also all of our organizations and businesses. And I am hopeful that we can get back to that for next year. So I would like our staff to reach out to Hellertown Borough staff to determine in what way we can participate next year. And I know the staff is already looking into like what we have done in the past, but at minimum, I mean, there was Congressman McKenzie was there, Senator Boscola was there, Hellertown Borough officials were there, and it was a shame that we didn't have representation. So I would like us to bring that back and participate, because I think that it would benefit everybody in the community. And we could showcase more organizations and businesses that may not have thought they could participate.
Representative Freeman there, or was he standing on the side of the road with a hat on and a blow dryer?
Okay, we're on Victoria's report. Stop your comments.
You can't make this stuff up.
Do you still have more of your report?
Yes, sorry, the last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to thank our staff. First and foremost, our township staff and our people that get involved with our Movies in the Park. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you to the staff for putting on a wonderful summer Movies in the Park series. Our last one was just at Town Hall Park, and it went off wonderfully. I want to thank the police for coming out. They've been at almost every single one to also engage with people at all of the various parks. One was at Steel City, one was at Polk Valley Park, and then the one at Town Hall Park. So I want to thank the police for all their community engagement this summer at National Night Out, but also at the Movies in the Park. And I want to thank our Public Works Department for all their work this summer. They're paving roads. You might have seen some notifications about road closures temporarily for road improvement projects, and that's all thanks to our Public Works Department, who work hard in all kinds of weather and deal with all the emergencies. And I'm sure Laura may have more to say, but we also have had 2 fire services committee meetings that have been open to the public, and I'm happy that we did get our the audit back, which is one of the main improvements, and in working with the fire department collaboratively in getting that done. So we are currently working on the budget, and I would encourage everybody to get engaged with the fire department. There's the Citizens Fire Academy that's going to happen again. Last year they did it, this year they're doing it again. But there's also lots of other ways to get involved. They're doing a book sale, so please reach out to them if you have any abilities whatsoever. You don't necessarily have to fight fire, but you can do anything else, and they would appreciate it. That's it.
Oh my gosh.
All right. I would like to say that I attended the Dewey Fire Company had a town hall on July 30th, and I wanted to be more aware of what issues that they're facing. A lot of them are the same things that we're facing in Lower Saucon. So what's going to affect one place is affecting the other, and vice versa. So wanted to get an awareness of what's going on there. I attended the Parks and Rec meeting on August 4th, and can thank Maya for consolidating the survey results that we got, and kind of so we could get counts of what people are thinking and what the opinions were that we got from the survey that was done a couple months ago. I attended the National Night Out on August 5th. The kids had a lot of fun at that. They loved it, as they do every year. They love throwing water balloons at police, I guess, and firemen, and doing the tug of war. It was a great night. I attended the Fire Services Executive Committee meeting on August 7th, and of note, the Lower Saucon Fire Rescue told us that July has been their busiest month so far this year with 106 calls. That included dwelling fires and water rescues. So we had a lot of things going on in July for them. Total year-to-date calls are 505 calls. We also, as was mentioned, the audit was completed for Lower Saucon Fire Rescue. And one of the things that we're taking on and looking at is the bigger long-range financial picture for the organization. On August 13th, I attended Lower Saucon Township Historical Society meeting over in Sidersville Hall. I will make note that the ceiling fans don't work in there, and it was like 1,000 degrees in there, so I don't know if we can look at that. They have it so you can't touch the air conditioning controls if you're there at an evening meeting, so if you're there, you're melting. So maybe we can look at that. I also think they mentioned some of the outlets in that same meeting room don't work, so I don't know which work or don't work. We tried plugging in an additional fan and we couldn't get it to work anywhere. On August 16th, I attended the Community Day as well. Another great day, as was mentioned. It would be wonderful next year if we have Lower Saucon Township present there, as we had been in the past. We used to have a township table set up, and I know EAC used to set up like an exhibit and sometimes sell native plants, things like that. So it'd be good to have a presence there because at least half the people there are Lower Saucon Township residents. It's our community. Upcoming, as was mentioned, the Lower Saucon Fire Rescue is having their book sale this weekend. So Saturday it's 9 to 3, Sunday it's 11 to 2. It's at Seawaco. So come out and get your book pile for winter reading. And then also, as was mentioned, the Citizens Fire Academy. I know the dates are real soon here in September that it's starting, so I would Google that, or maybe we can hear what the dates are in our public comment, because I didn't jot them down. I did attend some of the sessions last year of that. It's a really good way to get a handle on what all these guys do and gals, and all the training that they go through and the work they put in to serve our community. So that's my report. And now we're at public comment for either agenda or non-agenda items.
Hello, Cheyenne Raman. Two things. Number one, the chamber is their own entities. I don't understand why we would have our zoning officer be reaching out to them and saying, hey, we have this business. That's part of their role. They don't, that email was very well worded, but I do think there are some things that I think could be improved, and I think it's not something we should be spending township resources on, more paying them per hour. Secondly, Victoria, I think you need to look at yourself in the mirror when you go home tonight. You specifically talk about proper decorum is what you said, basic decorum, I'm sorry, and course of conduct. And if you watch yourself in these meetings, you're a giant hypocrite. I have no idea, you're more obsessed with me running for council than I am. I don't talk about it, I don't mention it, but you bring it up every chance you get, everywhere you go. It's kind of weird, to be honest with you. And you're sitting here taking my picture for no reason. Because I smirked when he brought out the toy, as Lard called it. I wasn't the only one, you also did. So go back and watch YouTube and watch your own facial expressions. You've actually laughed and smirked at things over the last, how many months you've been sitting up there, a year and what, 8 months? You've laughed yourself. Is that so that, what, should I sit there and take your picture? I don't know what you're gonna do with them anyway, what, go home, put them in your spank bank? Post them on Facebook? I don't care. But if you're gonna sit here and talk about code of conduct and basic decorum, have some of yourself. And the only thing you do outside of saying, I appreciate, you're always talking about, well, I just want to correct this thing that was misrepresented or missaid. And you didn't. When somebody said tonight that something was ridiculous, right away you were quick to jump and say it was somebody that was running for council. And who said it? Was it me? Was it Donna? No, it wasn't. And that's why I corrected you during the meeting. Because you can sit up here and you can throw all the digs and daggers you want at us, but guess what? Because we have to wait until the end of the meeting, so I have to sit here at 9:45 and sit here and talk now, I can't say anything. But you know what? I'll be damned if I'm gonna sit here and take it. You jump on them every chance you get. Every time something is said that you don't agree with, you jump on them left and right. But when somebody does it to you, it's not okay. And then you want to sit there and Priscilla wants to take my picture for correcting you? Absolutely. I wasn't the one that said that. And I don't want an apology because it's not gonna mean anything anyway. But I want you to go home and take a good look in the mirror. I don't know if you can stomach it, but you might want to do that and consider practicing what you preach. All right, next.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Diane Hollowell, and I did attend the July council meeting, and I was really appalled at the behavior of the two lame duck members, and I did submit a letter to the morning call, and I would like to have it read into the record. And it said, council members acted rudely. For Lower Saucon Township taxpayers, the next township council election can't come fast enough. I attended the July council meeting and witnessed two of the council members calling their fellow members disgusting pigs, freaks, clowns, and telling them to shut their ignorant mouths. Our community deserves better. Not only did they disrupt the meetings, but they left before all township business was discussed. You can tune into the township YouTube channel to see for yourself. It is no wonder taxpayer attendance is down at these meetings. I have to tell you, my response in town was amazing. I got phone calls, I got texts. And now I'm deciding, do I want to write another? These are words I heard tonight from our two lame duck members. Disgusting person. Go to hell, you fat ass. Go set yourself on fire. Fat pig. Dumbass. Ignorant person. Go fuck yourself. Shut the fuck up. Three fools. Disgusting pigs. Lying sack of shit. Like, what are we here? Like, I'm sick of hearing the Democrats, Republicans. You are all voted in to do what is right for this community. Like, stop with this division. And Tom, I have to tell you, like, please do more phone calls. Like, you had no stuttering tonight. You know, that was just an observation. And just one thing, at the last meeting, we had that big downpour, and we had some residents talking about, you know, doing a study on, you know, like the runoff that was going through the neighborhoods. I live in that neighborhood, and if you have any history of it, you know all of that ground is clay underneath. When they built those houses, they were bringing in topsoil. So most of my neighbors have French drains around their properties, so those complaining might want to consider that. Thank you.
Next.
Anne Marie Slavic, Lower Saucon Township. First of all, I sit in the back and people call me out, and I can't come up here until after the meeting, and thank God it's still early, otherwise I wouldn't be here. We're not allowed to speak anymore in between topics, thanks to the Democrats. So we have to wait until the end to come up and say our piece that was said during the meeting that was not accurate. So one meeting I went up to Victoria nicely, professionally during a break, and I said, just so you know, someone told me, someone credible told me that they called the landfill, and the landfill let them know that the DEP accidentally left on the violations on the report, that they were supposed to be removed because they were old and expired. That came from a credible source. Maybe I should have called the DEP myself and checked it out. I told you that, and professionally. I didn't yell it from the back. And then you sit up there during a time that I can't refute it and say that I said something inaccurate. And it's not inaccurate. So maybe you should call the DEP, call your friends there, and ask them about it. And maybe we could confirm it next meeting. So I just don't appreciate it. So the people that are yelling in the background, for the audience out there wondering why are people yelling from the background, this is why. Because People call us out and we are not allowed to speak anymore. Does that sound familiar? The other thing is in reference to, I'm not going to defend anybody on council tonight, I'm just not going to do it, but I will say this is how I feel. Why would the township spend money on a sign that keeps getting graffiti? Now maybe the next person who does the graffiti will put some other nonsense on the sign and not the anti-Semitic stuff. Maybe it'll be something else, who knows? But I think the point was, why are we spending more money on a sign when it keeps getting graffitied? And then the other point was, do you want a police officer to stand next to the sign 24/7 to make sure it doesn't get graffitied? Is that your point? Is that your purpose? I mean, is that what you want to do? Because I do believe the council person, and I would agree that I would like the police to try to find the people who maybe did the graffiti, who maybe have a problem with groups, certain cultures, maybe the hate groups, maybe this and that, you know, maybe there's a problem in the valley, maybe there's a problem in our township with people that don't like other groups. Maybe it's more than just graffiti, maybe it's just graffiti. You know, we don't know. But yes, do I want the police to find this out, to discover the perpetrator? Of course. Do I personally, as a Republican, want to see people that commit crimes in jail? I do, yes. Do I think you do, as a Democrat, per the national stage right now? There are people rioting, stopping traffic, firebombing, throwing stuff at police, injuring people, wearing stuff on their faces, on their heads.
Can you wrap it up, please?
Yes, I am wrapping it up. On campuses, stopping children from going to, kids from going to class. I'm against those things. Your party is for it. So you can complain all you want that you want to spend money on a sign and then accuse somebody of being anti-Semitic. But your party, unless you want to speak up against your party is the problem. Your party is the problem, the Democrat Party. That's what I'm saying. So stop accusing other people just because they don't want to put a sign up that they're anti-Semitic. That's so disgusting. Disgusting. And the person who came up here and said, so-and-so said this and so-and-so said that, and that's just nasty and mean and
over your time, please.
Should remind everybody what was said to them, and that's why they lashed out. You're not innocent. None of you are. The Democrats on this council are not innocent. And the taxpayers and the voters in this township will know as I go campaigning the real truth.
Thank you, Anne Marie, and you're absolutely right. Anti-Semitic Democrats.
Okay, we still have public comment.
And these three will say nothing about
voice coming on?
Donna Louder. I guess this is more for the manager and the solicitor. The alert was sent out from Lower Saucon Township regarding the Bethlehem Bomb Squad will be training today 8/18 and Wednesday 8/20 at the Steel City Range. On the 18th, they did do their training. They did it to the point where our houses were rattling. And we're within a mile of the police shooting range. So I received another advisory from Bethlehem Township that says, notice, disruption from large explosions, Bethlehem PD bomb squad training Wednesday 8/20 along the Lehigh River. So what I did was I reached out to the police chief of Bethlehem City. And I asked her, give me a minute to find it, please. Sent Chief Cott a letter regarding, here it is, thank you. Good morning, Chief Cott. I'm a resident of Steel City area, Lower Saucon. The gun club is approximately a mile from my home. 8/18, the bomb squad detonated multiple bombs. Some were so strong our home vibrated. Before the detonation was there a study done to measure the blast wave, measuring the possible damage to structures. If there is a study, I'd like to obtain a copy. Chief Cott excuse me, Chief Cott sent me to, hang on, I have to get his title. Captain Lucas M. Fuller, CFI/bomb technician. So this gentleman sent me back all his little things about our current SOPs, a maximum of 2 pounds TNT, equivalent to this, blah, blah, blah. So these bombs were supposed to be detonated today. There were none. I reached out again to Mr. Fuller and I said, thank you for your response. I'm still interested to see the blast wave study if one is available. What I am asking the township manager / solicitor, whatever, whomever wants to do this, is to reach out to Bethlehem City and confirm that at least they did some kind of testing before they're setting off these bombs that could structurally ruin our homes in Steel City.
I think that's a great idea.
Thank you.
We've asked already the township to look into it after the first blast, so that we could at least give the advance notice.
You asked for the reports of any kind of testing that could have been done, such as,
We didn't ask for any specific reports, but we're trying to figure out if there's even a site plan for the police gun range, because it was moved from Steel City Gun Club to a new location, and I don't even know that there's any information on that.
Thank you.
So
basically, I'm looking for any kind of blast wave reports, any kind of seismography, I guess it is, that are set up after each blast to see how far it reached. Again, that mountain is shale, and our homes are like right there as well, so the ground I'm sure has some in. I'm just looking for some kind of, to protect the residents of Steel City and their foundations of their homes. Is that something that can be done?
Sure, and you also have the right to send a open records request to them.
To the Bethlehem City. They did not respond after Mr. Fuller did not respond to me after I thanked him and said I'm still interested in the letter. So I'm not even sure if the city does any of these testings, like he never acknowledged whether they did or not. I could show you what they sent me, and basically it was the, I guess the outline or the rules of what they have to follow as far as detonating any kind of bombs. And I mean, but Allentown was in Steel City on the 18th as well. Allentown Bomb Squad was there as well. So we had 2 of them going. There were approximately 6 bombs that went off on the 18th. There were maybe 3 of them that were very strong, enough to rattle the house. And not only my house, but a block away, my neighbor texted and said, well, I guess they're really going at it now. So this is concerning. So will the township reach out to them?
As Ms. Alsop-Guerrero said, we're already doing that.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your time. All right, do we have somebody else?
Well, don't expect much. We'll cater to downtown, like they did with the,
We're on public comment, Tom.
on the side of
Yours.
they wanted to build this.
We have more public comment here.
Council said absolutely.
Mark Osmek, could just hang up on him. Concerning the Bethlehem Police Department and them bombing down there, I'm glad to see that notices have been now put out. Because when it first happened, I was probably the first one to call township. And then I think I didn't call Bethlehem, but I did call DEP. I got letters back from DEP. And now that Donna's talking, the other concern I have, because it rattled my windows at my house. What everybody, or partial everybody should be concerned with is, where did they set these bombs off at? Now what damage did it do to the wells that were drilled for inspecting the dump pollution.
That's a good question.
What, do you think that's a stupid idea?
Yeah.
No. I mean, my house is farther away to rattle my house. Don's house is farther away from mine probably, and it rattled her house, she says. But, you know, what did it do to the wells that they spend tons of money on drilling to keep an eye on what's going on in the dump? And the other thing Bethlehem did, I probably got 100 dump trucks up my road 3 out of 4 or 5 days. I don't know what they've been hauling in there or out of there, but I'm telling you, 100 trucks went past my house, all from the city of Bethlehem.
So, do you think that the blasts were creating
Blasts create vibrations.
Right.
Vibrations do damage.
Well, yeah, from the dirt, and they were hauling dirt away?
No, I believe they were hauling dirt in. I don't know. But you know, just like somebody can't have their home, and when they're building a house, they're not supposed to have mud drug all over the street when they're leaving the construction site. Well, go down and look at the road and see what kind of crud they drug out of there. And the other issue is, all the water still comes down from the repair site, from the dump where all the big boulders are, and it's been muddy for over a month, and the state goes through and they do nothing. PennDOT goes through and nothing is done to clean any of it up. As a matter of fact, somebody's car bottomed out, must have put a hole in the oil pan, and you can follow the oil line all the way up past my house, up the street from somebody's car leaking oil. So, I don't know if the dump should go down there and clean up the mess that comes basically what's their property now, off of their property. And as far as the dump goes, there's now more garbage all over Reddington Road. Caesar picked up a can. I was gonna drag all this stuff out like I did with the tires in the middle of the street and take a picture, and I didn't do it. But Bob has cans on his property up on the left on my side. There was garbage that Caesar picked up, and these are all construction materials. On the right side, there's stuff above Ginger's that's been dropped off, and this is all recent. I couldn't find anybody on my cameras. Just in that range of being a little too far away.
All right. Can you wrap up, Mark, please?
Can I wrap up? Oh, I'm sorry. I do have more good, useful stuff to say. What needs to happen in this township by everybody is quit taking the English language and manipulating it. If somebody says a sentence, don't read into it what's not there. And it happens from everybody and the public. And it's got to stop, because I got ears and it's all on camera. And my camera works, unlike the township and their recording. So if you want to hear it, go listen to mine. Oh, and by the way, for 11,000 residents, you can write in anybody's name you want when it comes time to vote. And I'm still up for a seat.
Okay. Okay, Jay, do you think, Jay,
We have more public
can
comment.
I ask Jay something first? Can we contact PennDOT and tell them about that drainage area on the Narrows and bring it to their attention?
Sure.
And when, I know that you're already in communication with the city of Bethlehem, but if you could find out what they, if they were bringing
Public comment.
materials into the police, like whatever, you know, whatever they're doing there, we gotta figure out what they brought in.
We still have public comment, Tom, so we're not listening to you.
You're not listening to anybody. And this one keeps bloviating, and she keeps bloviating in the middle of public comment. It's Dave Boulan, and I'm really fed up. Her yelling and screaming. I went out there in the hall and timed it. 30 minutes altogether. top of her voice. If you're an attorney, I can't imagine you in front of a judge in a court. You'd be in prison for what you do. You and your ethics committee. Baloney. Okay. Fire department at Giant. Fantastic. I guess nobody went that. Nobody saw that. All right. The explosion, Mark already talked about it. Absolutely. It was great. Went off in the early morning. We got a notice from the township at 11:15. By the way, the rude orange sign, Priscilla, you're just so unprofessional. There you go again. See how she interrupts? It's nothing for these three to interrupt. And that means you, Laura Ray. You're the worst. Turn off the display of the side lights, please, when you're showing these two, okay? I'm not going to say anything more because I talked about it before. The bottom line is I have 3 minutes, and boy, there we are, 2 already. All right. Do the vultures just come ordinarily before election? It's just like the smells from the dump. Sure they do. VOC, you disrupt this meeting and every meeting, and you just can't help yourself. Whoever was that said you ought to look in the mirror, you ought to watch YouTube. You're just endless. Who the heck in their right mind would join any committee if you're on it? Because you just run amok. You think you have a right to do whatever you want. I got news for you. A lot of people watch this thing, and I catch them all over the place. They know me, and they say, how does she get away with it? Well, we'll find out. Okay, Steve, why don't you put your darn things in writing? If you have changes to make, put them in writing and introduce them at the next meeting. Don't leave this thing open-ended. I don't really care for that. That's really sloppy work. Okay. And Laura Ray, when you tell Tom to stop talking after one comment, when she goes on for 30 minutes, you're so far out of the league, you don't even know what the heck you're doing. Period. Oh, I got 45 seconds left without Priscilla. All right, so that's it. Again, I would ask that the taped minutes, in addition to YouTube, the township tape minutes, voice, no work, be appended so we can get the whole story. All right, I could go to Marco's site, but that's really pathetic. So there you are, Virginia. You better look in the mirror because you're not liked by a huge number of people.
All right, do we have anybody else for public comment? Take that as a no. So the time is 10:03. I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
We're adjourned.
So you were I was like the zoning.
Wherever they are, every time I was there.
It wasn't us. She here for the paper. She's representing the landfill.
I'm usually reviewing it while I'm feeding my son, so.
Really? I thought she was filling up for the old news normally. She couldn't make it tonight, I guess. I don't know.
So it's like.
That's what she said. She got up.
I didn't talk when she got it. I didn't
Yeah, I swear.
I didn't talk to her at all.
That's fine. Sign here for Laura. Take care. I've got it notarized. I got it. Or you guys are going to do your job.
Oh, some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Folder.
It's going to be recorded. You got that too. Whatever it's worth.
Thanks for coming, everybody. It's been a blast.
Yeah, you know what? I think I forgot to give it to you in June, but then 2 came in since the last They're your copies, yeah. Because you get yours mailed to your home and there was nothing else to get except the magazines.
Why do you have a mail?
Yeah, I don't know, I've always had a mail. I think you can set that up for PSAC. You must have did that for the beginning or something.
Years ago.
Just take it out and retype.
Yeah, pictures on it.
But you, I keep this here.
Yeah.
Sign it.
You
And I'll change the first
Facebook
picture.
have your thing. That's very nice. Yeah. He might have just set it up.
Already sent our email.
All right, see you guys, thank you. Thank you for the pictures, I don't know if it helps.
She's not answering you. She doesn't have a problem. She works for.
Oh.
Well, I know it's good. I sit down at 7 o'clock and the big deals come firing in. It's great.
All right, John J. Finnegan, Jr.